Hello out there. Welcome back to TableTalk, Discussion, and Discourse. I, as always, am your host, Alejo, aka Great on 95.
I am your second host, who is a hungry boy this week,
Mm.
Sneaky Adolf.
I am your third host who really regrets not taking a picture of my dinner because it blew out all of your guys' out of the water,
Oh,
honestly.
what'd you have?
I had been craving pancakes lately.
Oh, yeah.
And so we had cinnamon pancakes
Ooh.
with like heated up apple pie filling on top of them
Mm-hmm.
and with powdered sugar drizzled on top, a
Jesus
nice
Christ.
like scrambled eggs,
Yep.
maple sausage
Oh.
in more maple syrup because
Mhm.
I love dipping like breakfast sausage in maple syrup,
Mhm.
and then a glass of orange juice.
Jeez. Nice.
It was a fucking work of art. It was
Excuse
so
me.
good.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I make good pancakes if I do say so myself. So.
I make a good bowl of ramen when I actually care to make it good.
So welcome to Food Talk.
Yep. Food goes on the table.
It does go on the table. You're right. So before we get into today's stuff, a couple little things. As is relevant and obvious. Last week we didn't have an episode. In fact, we had nothing.
You failure.
Yeah, because I was away, unable to upload or really connect to the internet to record. So that was fun, but
it was bad times.
It was the dark times. Aiden, are you dead? I think he's dead. Okay,
He's dead.
All right.
No, that was quick.
Well, no worries. So yeah. So there he goes.
Yeah, there it goes.
Right after noticing. Yes, the last week and week before that were a little weird, but we should be continuing our regularly scheduled programming now that I am back at my computer.
Although now, fucking no nats.
Yeah, we'll see. It's
because I don't think I can change my schedule any further.
Yeah.
Because like I already have a pretty sweet schedule as far as I know, but again, I really don't want to push my luck.
Yeah.
Even though my manager likes me, both of them. But
yeah. So if you are a fan of the Devils and Dice campaign, which I know you are, obviously.
I am, yes.
It might get a little weird as well. We don't know. Because of moving, because of stuff. You know, it's that might be a little bit different. Might be shorter. Might be just,
shorter sessions.
It's just gonna unfortunately be the way that it is.
Yeah,
but
until he makes himself a cardboard box and then drapes like sheets, like comforters around it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like it's like $10 to buy the, foam.
The box
that I have.
from a fucking. Oh yeah.
Well, you get the box with
from
the
a
foam
refrigerator or something.
Oh yeah, true. But yeah. So look out for that. There's also some potential other changes that will be coming in the future. Potentially won't tell anything more about those just because they are not certain yet. And so,
what are we talking about tonight?
Well, tonight, and Aiden was part of suggesting this. After I got home, I put out a poll on our Twitter and our Discord, which you should join or follow or whatever it is that you do with those, because interaction, and also you can vote and shit. But excuse me, we got a bunch of people talking about stuff, and the most popular thing that came up for the next like foreseeable future episode was homebrew content. Which Aiden and I did last time. We looked at the combat wheelchair.
Yes.
And it was cool, and I enjoyed looking at it and kind of critiquing it and all that kind of shit. And so we're going to talk about just our own kind of homebrew stuff, homebrew styles, all that kind of stuff. We're going to look at a couple of things that have been made by people out there that have been posted on Reddit, and we're also going to look at some of Aiden's personal homebrew that he was excited to show us, but who knows if he'll ever return from whence he came.
Yeah. And then we have our own thing that we made.
Yep, we have that, and we also are going to potentially, if we have the time, because I think we will, to look into and make a little thing for everyone out there to enjoy.
Oh!
Yeah.
So we are going to be brewing.
We are going to be brewing today. Aiden, welcome back.
Hello. Last I had heard, I'm actually been burning with curiosity about what Boo had for dinner. Because the last word I heard was craving.
Okay. Oh my god, I bet that was the worst. It's like that joke. How do you keep a doctor in suspense as you're falling asleep from anesthesia? So what I had was I had been craving pancakes. And we had cinnamon pancakes with warm apple pie filling on top of them, drizzled with powdered sugar, an omelet. Yeah, an omelet, and then maple sausage dipped in more maple syrup because I love to do that, and a tall glass of orange juice, and it was fucking delicious.
I would have the omelet.
I'm sure you would. But you can't have it now because I ate it like an hour ago.
Like, are we talking just egg and cheese omelet, or are we talking like...
It was actually just plain... It was actually just plain egg, salt, and pepper.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind.
Needs more, this one.
Needs cheese, needs egg, needs onion.
The eggs need more egg.
Egg mean no more egg. Like more...
Yes, more egg.
More
egg. I don't know. I actually kind of just like plain eggs sometimes. Anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about.
Well, I mean, it could be, but...
It could be, but...
So, yes.
All of my homebrew is exclusively egg-based.
Oh, okay. The gourmand feat, except it only lets you eat eggs.
Only egg.
Only egg.
Only egg.
But yes, so... Let's get into it. There's going to be no real video accompanying us today. We're going to be looking at a couple of other things as well as just in general. So, hey, audio listeners, you're not missing too much.
Yeah. Sorry, video watchers.
Well, I mean, we will have some things on the screen for you. Promise.
We're lumping you in with your younger brother, the audio listeners. Play nice.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, by the way, before I forget, now that we've talked about that a little bit, we've seen a little bit more of a spike in audio listening. We're up to 7 audience estimation in Anchor instead of 2. But I know for a fact that we have like 8 followers on Spotify, so that's pretty cool.
Oh.
But yeah,
I had been under the impression that we were at 6.
Well, it's 7 now,
which is still a 16.6% growth.
But yes, thank you everybody, and I've also seen that we've gotten a lot more like diversity in the sense of our distribution. A lot more countries now, like more than what I had in that screenshot now.
So, Alejo,
hi.
Would you mind sharing with me what our Patreon analytics are?
I would love to. Let me look at it real quick because it's still the same. 0.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nah, it's fine.
I'm kidding.
Yeah. Don't take that as you should. No.
No.
It's literally just one of those things that I literally just don't check it sometimes just because I'm like, don't expect it. You know? Excuse me. Anyway, so, let us begin. Let us talk about some homebrew, because homebrew is fun.
Yes, please.
It's fun as fuck, to do. So, do we want to start with, let's start with our own kind of things. What is some homebrew that we've like made that we're kind of proud of, other than the stuff that we've put out, like officially, quote unquote, right? Like other than that,
I think we should definitely talk about that though.
oh yeah, we will.
That,
yeah, we
okay.
can. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay.
But at the moment,
you mean just like stuff that we like to use, or what?
So let's.
Have you made, Boo?
Yeah, let's go with.
I haven't really made anything though.
Right, it's one of those things where I know it's more a homebrewing of the stat blocks, right? Instead of making its own kind of thing, because that seems a little easier to me in the sense of just kind of tweaking what the stat block can do, or not the stat, the monster can do, or like tweaking an item a little bit. And there are a couple of items that I've made that have been used, so there's a few different things, because I felt like having some kind of special stuff. So it's actually kind of reminiscent of, Aiden, you talked about the what was it, the flagon wagon, I believe.
Yes.
Yep.
Wandell's Wondrous Wagon is the name of that item.
And that I kind of didn't think about it until now, really, is kind of very similar to the wagon that I have for Dressed. It
is, you're right.
Yeah, my character that I made a long ass time ago, for back in when I did my first campaign, really, he was a shopkeep, and he was originally completely weirdly different in a way, but he's retained most of his
in a way.
In a way, yeah. I mean, different from what he is now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So he was supposed to take the spot of the shopkeep in the module of Expedition to Castle Ravenloft. That was the 3.5 version of Curse of Strahd as it's known today. And I was like, fuck it, I want to just have some guy be the shopkeep who has everything that you would ever need. Ever. But it's all for sale. You have to buy it, but it's not, like, it's all going to be there. That way you don't have to worry about going out to, like, another place, since the module was all self-contained. I was like, fuck it, yeah, let's have this one-stop shop, anything you need. Magical, non-magical.
So he was the potion seller?
He was the potion. He was everything.
He was the seller.
Yeah, he was the seller.
I specifically remember trying to save that poor boy of his.
So he also had an assistant who was named Periwinkle.
A happily employed assistant.
It was his nephew, who was just this little guy, and originally, and I'll even reveal this because fuck it, it's not a thing and it won't be a thing ever again. Originally, he was a doppelganger, and his Periwinkle was he was a creature that accompanies doppelgangers, that can turn into small to medium creatures, not medium, small creatures. And so I was like, he's a child. Fuck it, they're trying to be people, like they're just trying to do their thing. So originally he was that, and that's why he could mind read every now and again, because he would just be like, what do they need? And then think about it and then try to sell it to them.
And why Periwinkle one time was like turned into a dog, and we were like, he's abusing the poor boy.
Yes, everyone in the party was so concerned for Periwinkle, had little things about him being tortured for something. I don't.
Yeah. An item didn't work. I'll have to talk to Periwinkle about that. No, he's fine. No, the item's fine.
So, and he's an extravagant man, and so when I brought him over to my world now, I was like, let's not do the doppelganger thing. Let's just have him be a guy. The doppelganger thing really doesn't really add much. And so I was like, okay, so I still want him to be that artificer who can make whatever, sell whatever, and he fucking loves doing it. He loves doing that shit. What do I need for this guy? I need him to have transport because he would love to sell to anybody. Okay, wagon, cool. Wagon's a sphere, cool. Inside of the wagon is completely controllable by him, because he's worked on it for so long that he's made it so that he can, like, it's as big as he wants it to be. It can have whatever flooring he wants. It can look
So
however.
Dimension,
it is basically a pocket dimension inside of a wagon. Yes, and
cool.
so he can just shape it however.
That's what Wandell's is, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, it's basically the exact same thing of just, this is what he made. This is how he has everything around. He has his own armor crafting spot. He's got, his, like, potion brewing spot. Like, he's got everything in there that he needs. And
truth be told, I forgot he had a wagon. Like, the way I remember it, he had a building.
The building, I remember you guys, I had said something to make it so that you had thought that the building was his, but he was just passing by it in the wagon.
I'm going to be honest, when you said, no, the building, when you said that, I was expecting you to say, the building, you burned it down. So, I was honestly expecting that. I don't know why.
That's fine. But yeah, so like that is a major kind of item that I basically made, that's only exists for that one character. But he then himself creates items that I'm like, fuck it, what do I want to make, right? Like, I know I made a shield, a tower shield that was basically weightless, which was interesting. And my friend who I gave it to was like, you think I could, like, glide with this? And I was like, well, if you weighed the same as the shield, yeah, you could, but you're kind of heavy.
Yeah.
He was a paladin in, like, full plate. So I was like, I mean, you could try, I guess, but I don't think so.
But what I would have done is make a tower shield and, like, homebrew it, so it's like this legendary item. And if you plant it in the ground and, like, speak an incantation, it turns into a small tower.
That would be cool. Yeah,
that'd be super cool.
There's
it'd be a way high level item.
Yeah, I know there's an item that does that. Actually, it's something else, but it just makes a tower. I don't remember what it was.
That reminds me of an item I made. I never implemented it, but I did make it for my campaign, and it was the tower shield. It was less homebrew and more like an artificer's wet dream.
Yeah, sure.
Sort of like a riot shield, like a big tower shield with a slot at the top that you can see through. And in that slot, there's also a string that attaches to a hatch on the front and a pull handle on the back. And when you lift that, the hatch opens up and there's a glyph of warding underneath. And it can send out that blast forward, but because you're taking cover behind the tower shield, the blast will kind of go, like, around you.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That reminds me of the tower or the SWAT shield that is in Rainbow Six. That's just like you can do a flashbang from it, basically.
Oh,
yeah, it's great.
I've never played R6.
Real fun. I wish I had the internet for it.
I remembered that I actually did a pretty homebrewed item in the campaign, actually.
Hey.
The gauntlets that I was going to give to Muzzle until he decided to retire. Because they were a pair of gauntlets that were modular, so you could change out the knuckle portion of the gauntlets for, like, something with blades, something with spikes on it, or something that's just like kind of something really blunt but heavy, so it's like bludgeoning. You could do any damage type that you wanted, as long as you, like, took a full round action to, like, manipulate the thing and, like, swap out the pieces. And then there was also this little canister slot on the back of it, so you could put in a little a file of some sort of chemical, and when you punch, the inertia of the punch sends the thing flying out, and it hits the guy that you punch, and it, like, bursts in, like, fire, poison, acid, whatever. Just this, like, the most versatile weapon ever, except it's a fist weapon.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so yes, Aiden has now posted a bunch of things in the chat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Wandel's Wondrous Wagon, and then another one that I'm personally really fond of, the Portable Campfire for 525 gold pieces. It's 6 stones bound together by a chain, and the stones all have like little like glyphs and stuff carved in them. And what you do is you throw it on the ground and you arrange it in a roughly circular fashion. And the portable campfire imparts heat to objects inside its circumference, a 3-foot ring. It can be used to cook food with no light or smoke. Contains enough charge to last 2 weeks between charges, and it can be charged at a Mage's Guild for 5 gold. So when you're exploring the Underdark, use that.
Yeah. Excuse me. Goodness.
Another option that you could do would be like heat metal. You just get like a sheet of like light metal and then just put it on the ground and just cast it. And then you've got like a little red hot thing. It would glow, obviously, but it wouldn't shed as much light as a fire. Oh man, make some hibachi down the Underdark.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah, right.
Literally druids going around doing hibachi.
Hell yeah.
Dude,
that's actually awesome.
That's how they start making
oh my god, there's a campaign right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Druids going around
traveling
casting heat metal on a... Huh? The what chef?
Hibachi chefs.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
They're going into the forest to get rarer and rarer monster bits.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, there's a campaign right there.
Oh my god.
That would be amazing. Dude, that's who should join the Dandelions if one of us ever dies.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Oh my god. Yes.
Dude.
That's so... Oh, fuck.
I would actually play that so hard. That'd be so fun.
Hell yeah.
Oh, any of us would.
one part Monster Hunter, like 2 parts D&D.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Traveling to different like seas and oceans to get like different kinds of salts.
Yes.
Just going on a quest, finding all the most delicious shit in the kingdom. And then your ultimate quest is to cook and eat a god.
Exploring Delvin ruins for their recipes.
Yeah. Like hunting down angels and getting angel wings to fry them up.
Throwing aside all the golden treasure just so that you can find the cookbook.
Yeah.
I don't need this shit. I only need like a pouch so I can buy some ingredients when we get back to town, dude.
And then after you cook and eat a god or something, then you just open the greatest restaurant in the world.
No, dude, you ascend to be the god of the cook. Like you're the cook god, dude.
It's true.
You are the god of the kitchen.
Yep.
Of hearth and home, dude.
Oh, that'd be so good.
It ends with the cook-off between the party and like the previous god of hearth and home.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Where the gods feed Valhalla for a week.
Oh man.
Fuck yeah.
So good. That'd be so fucking good.
Dude, like forget like climactic battles. Literally give me a cook-off.
Yeah, dude. A cook-off with the gods. Exactly. So fucking
That'd
cool.
Be great. Oh my god.
Dude.
Welcome to where
I'm like, my
Homebrew
mind is
can
just
bring you.
racing with ideas now.
I know, right?
I can just see what's your name? Hera. Like serve a dish and then there's like the referee is Gordon Ramsay. It's raw.
Oh, so is Gordon Ramsay the lawful neutral god of cooking?
He has to be.
Would he be lawful neutral? I guess
he'd be
would
lawful neutral.
He would be lawful neutral. It's just that he's so passionate, you know?
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
As I said, welcome to where Homebrew can bring you.
Yep.
Just start thinking about this
Homebrew,
shit.
more like home cooking.
Yeah, it's a good meal.
Man, I want to play a campaign where it's like, it'd be really interesting to have a campaign, quote unquote, that's more like a series of vignettes, and it's more like for this month, we're going to be like a traveling bard group. And this week, we're going to be guys who repair wagons.
Oh,
you know
okay.
what I mean?
So they
so
just...
like every so often, we'll play this, and then when we're like, okay, we're kind of good with this. Okay, we'll have one more session, let it end off good, and then we'll pick up a new kind of thing.
Yeah, it'd be neat.
That'd be pretty interesting.
Be neat.
Like because a bunch of loosely linked one-shots, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. It is its own campaign, just by the slight link.
But it's not. It's all set in the same world, and so you might run into some of your other characters. Like, oh man, I'm the chef guy, and now I need to go and get a wagon. Well, I hear that there are some guys that make some really good wagons.
Yeah.
Man, that'd be super
interesting. We should have an episode where we talk about campaign ideas.
We should. You're right. Absolutely.
So.
But yeah. So. Let's see. What was it? There was one of these that got my attention.
Was it the rock of breaking and entering?
It's just a rock, isn't it?
No, it is enchanted. So the rock of breaking and entering can pierce glass of any thickness, and shortly after you throw the rock, a magical enchantment lifts you up along the same trajectory that the rock took. Including when it landed. But you're going to be landing on broken glass, so you have to do like a reflex save to not fall prone on shattered glass. And if you're doing something like throwing a rock in like a stained glass window that's like 20 feet up off the ground, you're gonna take that falling damage.
That's fair enough.
So over here, I see one that I hate: the Orb of Weather Divination. I love that.
Oh my god.
A seemingly mundane looking rock that tells the user what the weather is. If the rock is wet, it is raining. If the rock is rolling away, it is windy. If the rock is jumping up and down, there is an earthquake. If the rock is hot, it is sunny. If the rock is covered in snow, it is snowing. Requires attunement, only works if outside.
Yeah.
That's so stupid.
It's great.
It's literally just a rock.
That's just a rock, but it still requires
45
attunement. It still needs attunement.
I envision this, that whoever buys that just is placeboed, basically. They're like, oh, it's taking an attunement. I can feel it. I'm connected with this rock now. but it's just nothing.
There was what was it? There was an item that one of my players wanted. He wanted to get better at enchanting. So he decided that he would go to Khajiit Caravan that had stopped in town because he figured a flea market would, I guess, be a good source for an enchanting manual. So I rolled for it, and he just barely got it within the range for an enchantment manual being there. So I'm like, all right, enchanting and you. And it was the most like basic explanation of like not how to do enchanting, but what enchanting is.
Yeah. Okay. So when a caster,
it was like, oh no, the enchanting of objects.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's like, and it came with an Orb of Weather Divination. The entire thing was 60 gold.
Oh my god!
The Khajiit must have been smiling that day.
The merchant's like, here, for you to practice your enchantment. And he's like, oh, thanks. And I'm like, yeah, that's a 45 gold item.
Did he figure it out at least?
Oh, immediately. Good. As soon as he saw the card, he is like, oh, okay.
Good, okay.
Unfortunately, he specifically mentions that his character didn't read through it until they were at the tavern that night. So in the morning, the caravan was gone.
That's great.
So there was an item. Let's see. homebrewing can come up during the course of the campaign to make an interesting item and also to make an interesting character or a campaign setting. But one of the things that I almost homebrewed, I didn't actually do it, was an item that I had originally intended to use in the Devil campaign.
Okay.
And in the I was looking, like, before I had written really much of anything for the Devil campaign, I was just looking them up and seeing, let's see, I think did I delete it? Maybe I deleted it, but that's okay. I remember it. There is a thing. If you look up devils in general in the Forgotten Realms or just D&D, it mentions something very, very interesting about them. I would post the link, but it was so long ago that I don't have it anymore. All devils in D&D have an organ called the ovatorium.
Oh.
And the ovatorium is this kind of white sac inside of them that has teeny, tiny little
eggs.
Not eggs, but chambers. There we go. Tiny little chambers inside them that have a miniature, like almost microscopic version of each type of devil. So, like, it has a bearded devil, a bearded devil, a barbed devil, an imp, a pit fiend, ice devil, horn devil, everything. Every kind of devil. And so whenever a devil is promoted or demoted, magic is cast on the devil that interacts with the ovatorium, and it forces that, whichever demotion or promotion is selected, to swell and swell and swell and swell until it bursts out of their skin. Yeah. And so, yeah, that's the actual physical way that devils are promoted and demoted.
That's
so
neat.
When I was coming up with the Devil campaign, and you don't need to worry, this isn't a spoiler, and this doesn't apply at all anymore. I was thinking it would be really, really interesting to have kind of like a counterpart to Asmodeus's Ruby Rod of Command or whatever he has, that big, like, godlike artifact that he has that enforces the Pact Primeval. Have like a counterpart to that, which is something that destroys the Ovatorium.
Okay.
And so then devils are locked in that form forever, and they can't be promoted or demoted. And so there was going to be this guy who was like working behind the scenes and being like bastardly to other devils and getting them demoted, and then once they were weak, using that shit on them so that they're stuck there forever.
Yeah.
And that was going to be like a big deal.
Right, yeah.
And
I
it
found
wouldn't,
it, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
And it wasn't gonna really, even if I had implemented that, and even if it happened to you, it wouldn't have actually really mattered all that much to you guys, because it was never really in the game plan to have you guys get promoted anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That makes sense.
And so just that sentence and the knowledge of what the Ovatorium is spurred nearly creating a whole campaign arc around it. So really, even just the smallest little bit of information can bloom into this crazy detailed homebrew stuff. So
dude, literally my whole world was based initially off of the idea of, man, nomads are cool, because I was watching the Avatar The Last Airbender episode wherein like there's the sand nomads and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, nomad, and I was like, nomads are cool. And I was like, it's a shame you never see ocean nomads.
Right, yeah.
And then that's where the idea of the Martabi came, then the lore that they had of like the moon is a god that was like is the remains of a dead god who will eventually reawaken and fight a million armed kraken at the bottom of the sea.
Oh, that's cool.
Because I mean, who wouldn't?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would.
that's pretty fucking
Every
cool.
every time you lie, the Kraken gains a new arm.
Nice, yeah.
Ooh. That's super.
Oh, I'll also share the thing of the Martabi.
Okay.
It's turned on my laptop.
So
I'm just gonna like flood the chat with
Yeah,
stuff, and
I was
if
gonna
we
say.
want to speak about it, we can. By no means do we have to touch all of it.
Well, I do want to get to the one thing that you wanted to talk about.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So, definitely that. What are these?
What are what? The pictures?
Yes.
Those are two sort of mini bosses that I
Oh,
made in
okay, yeah.
campaign. Um, the bone plate detonator, I'm especially proud of.
Mm.
The bone plate detonator is, think like the tank from Left 4 Dead 2.
Mm-hmm.
It is itself a zombie made of a mishmash of like a bunch of dead humans that have been built together, and it runs like a gorilla would.
Mm.
And all along its body are these plates of bone that cover it, sort of like the armored titan from Attack on Titan.
Okay.
And scrawled on all of the bones covering its body are tiny little glowing orange glyphs of warding.
Mm-hmm.
And it will run towards the party, and usually people think like, oh, enemy coming toward us, group up, don't get caught out. But it will run up, and after its movement as a bonus action, it can leap 40 feet, and it can slam its fists down as an attack action, and when it does so, glyphs of warding trigger. When you hit it, glyphs of warding trigger. And it damages itself each time that there's a detonation, but it
Mhm.
auto saves because it's so covered in bone.
Sure, yeah.
And pretty much the way you fight them is you pick a person and you start stacking healing spells on them, and you hope to outdo the DPS.
Yeah.
I would want to know, if you attack it from range, does it also set it off?
Yes,
So you could, in theory, try
you
to
can
kite
pepper
it.
it down. You can also try to kite, yes.
Yeah, okay.
When I did it initially, it was running at them down like a long hallway and like filling most of the hallway.
Mhm.
So like everyone who is ranged got in a bunch of attacks on it as it ran up and saw like, oh, this thing is detonating. Though it's covered in explosive runes, it's a suicider.
Okay.
The other thing is a boss that got taken down in 2 rounds.
With the cannon.
Yeah. No, not the cannon.
Ah.
Actually, wait, no, I think it was like 6 rounds. But the cannon was 2 rounds.
Oh, this is
I just called it the Force Sentinel.
Yeah, this is the modified Scarecrow, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wherein I already put it away, and the text there is too small for me to read because I am an old man.
Force Sentinel, AC 16, HP 220.
Yeah, I'm looking at the passives. Oh, here we
Oh,
go. Use
yeah.
passives. Bone plate detonator. Force Sentinel.
Terrifying
Here we go.
aura.
Relentless malevolence and preternatural speed.
Mhm.
Speed is increased to 50 feet if it's running towards a frightened target,
Mhm.
and it gets advantage on attack rolls toward a frightened target. But as a reaction, it has what I call Nightmarish Pursuit. The Scarecrow can reduce its own speed by 20 to lower the speed of a frightened target by the same amount.
Yeah.
So everyone gets frightened. Everyone scatters,
Mhm.
and it picks a target, and that person can no longer run as fast as the rest of the party.
Mhm.
And its speed, because it got increased to 50 and is now back down to 30, it can advance on that person normally. So you have that sort of effect of I'm trying to run, why can't I run, that you get in nightmares.
Yep.
Combined with like the sort of Jason-esque effect of like the person like running and stumbling over themselves trying to get away.
Yeah, but
And
they're
he's
slow and
like
steady.
walking up to
Yeah.
them with a machete.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, always a good visual. Just to have, oh, they're just walking. Oh, they're here. Huh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, my friends are leaving me.
yeah.
Oh.
Ooh. Ah. Yeah. Yeah. Some cool stuff. It's some cool stuff. I'd have to think if I've actually made something like as a monster, because I don't know, because usually for me it's been like I haven't really needed to, just because encounters with things I've not like run through all the monsters, you know. So like running through the monsters initially, I'd like to like try to do and like see how they all are really, or really just kind of experience running each of them, see which ones work and which ones don't, and then maybe buff those that need it or something, you know. That seems like something that I would want to do, but I still haven't. I've barely touched some monsters, you know, like most of them, so I haven't really needed to. I guess, yeah, no, it's really just been like modifying damage, modifying health, just for the situation. That's really been it. Because
That'll get through like 99% of situations.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like I remember as a part of the mercenary campaign that I was doing, I took the hunger.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, and I just kind of lowered it down a little bit. That was it, just to fight, because it's a CR11 and there were like 13 guys or whatever, and so I was like, yeah, maybe. And truth be told, one or two did die, but I was like, maybe one or two will die, and you know that'll be fine. Then I'll have less that I have to worry about.
Yeah.
But like it was all just the NPCs and stuff. But if they don't, then that's cool too. But
Yeah.
I rolled real well, so
It's all about a depletion of resources.
exactly. Yeah.
Now,
and then it was fine.
Unfortunately, I actually have two monsters that I've had to completely homebrew.
Ooh.
But
Is one of them the boar?
no.
Oh.
That was basically just a reskinned like dire boar,
yeah.
essentially. But I can't talk about them
Oh.
because
We haven't reached them yet.
yes,
That's fair.
Spoilers. So, unfortunately, maybe in the future we'll be able to like revisit homebrew like in the next maybe
honestly, I feel
2 years
like
from now. But
honestly, I feel like this is going to be a topic that comes up semi-regularly. You know, every now and again,
Yeah.
just talking about it, because like people like homebrew a lot.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I like I was telling Boo when you were unfortunately dead, that when we did the whole looking at the combat wheelchair, I very much enjoyed going through it and kind of just, you know, critiquing it, as well as just kind of running with its idea and kind of coming up with scenarios and stuff, and really getting into the meat of it, which was really just super fun.
Ultimately, I love the combat wheelchair. I think it needs tweaks.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I called it the critique and praise, because ultimately we like it.
By the way, I did really like that title.
Thank you. I figured it would be all right, and it's encompassed what we were doing, I thought. So, but yeah, so like I was saying, it can be another. Like, this could be just the first time we talk about homebrew, like, specifically, and then we'll come back to it at some point and just talk about more of it, you know, depending on context, and if we find things. If people want to, they can send us in.
Feel free to submit.
Yeah.
Send us in homebrews that you would like us to look at, definitely, because I love it. It's fun. It's just like, what did you make? Or what did this person make that you think we would like to look at? Or what did this person make that you think we would need to look at? Right?
Yeah, right?
Alejo,
Hello.
Do you still have the page for the Astral Sorcerer?
Oh, of course.
I guess we should move on to that then.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Let me go and get it.
And then do you also have the one for the Jungle Fighter?
I have the notes somewhere over there. I didn't ever make the page, unfortunately.
I didn't make oh yeah. I
Like
wrote down stuff.
Do you have the Astral Dragon?
I have that as well. That's in my notebook over there. Yeah. Oh, I did do that. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. Give me a sec. Okay. Oh,
because there were some ideas we had in the Astral Sorcerer that were really, really
okay.
fucking
Yeah.
cool.
Let me get my other notebook as well, so that I have the stuff for the Astral Dragon and stuff.
I have the thing right here.
Well, I mean, for my stuff on the Astral Dragon, like the actual.
Okay.
I have that in
Mind
this other
at
notebook.
least sending the page for the Sorcerer, though?
Yeah, I can do that.
Ah.
There you go.
Thank you.
I should really take a picture of this notebook because it has been through hell. It looks so.
I still
beat up
have
and
a
broken.
notebook from sophomore year, like with my first ever D&D character notes in it.
Nice. Okay, so yes, we've mentioned it before a couple of times where we here, I'll even give you guys the link to the homebrewery because this is always going to be available as well.
Yeah.
So we, as well as one of our friends, we got together, and I believe, Boo, you had the idea, like the initial musings, because of wanting to flavor spells and such.
Yeah, I wanted to make a sorcerer who's, because I like the sorcery origin thing, where it's like, oh, you were born from like a magical creature, or the other ones. Played sorcerer in a long time.
Bloodlines and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was sad that there was no origin that was like, because in a lot of D&D supplements and actually like novels and stuff, like in Dragonlance, there is arcane magic that comes from the gods that, that's like fireball and, the wizard shit.
Yep.
And then there's nature magic that's inherently in the earth itself. And, it's what the druids use. But I thought it would have been really, really cool if there was arcane magic from the gods, nature magic from the earth, and cosmic magic from space.
Yes.
So it's just kind of like just space magic. You know how there's like solar radiation and shit out in space basically forever. It'd be cool if there was some sort of untapped magical potential in space.
Yeah, exactly. And so we started brainstorming, and our friend Mike, he I think he was the initial person to suggest using the signs of the zodiac.
Yes, that was me.
Oh, was it you?
Because I said it in jest, because I was like, well, at this point in time, might as well just use the signs of the zodiac. Then as soon as I said it, I'm like, fuck, we got to do that now.
That's right.
And then we spent like 6 hours doing it.
Yeah, 6 or 7 hours.
It was great. Anyway,
I have multiple notes here. And it
had originally intended to just be kind of like spacey stuff.
Exactly.
Because it was like, I forget what the one was called, but it was like dissolve into a nebulous mist, and then you gain advantage on or an enemy gains disadvantage on you for one attack or something.
Yeah,
or until the end of your next turn or something.
We were honestly going to make it so that it was just you get this at this level and not you get choices, because eventually once the signs
we were like 3 or 4 things in.
Yeah, eventually once the signs were thought up, we were like, okay, let's try to put in the appropriate signs to get these things, and then we were like, fuck it.
I tried to reuse some of these ideas for signs.
Yeah, and then we were like, fuck it, we gotta just put them all in, and we'll just make it a choice kind of system, right?
Yeah.
And so before getting to those, we have this page it'll be in the description. The initial page, 2 pages, and then a little bit of the third page is just regular sorcerer stuff, right? So that you could look at this page, have everything you need for a sorcerer, and then have the astral stuff as well.
Yes.
So, getting into it, we have astral origin. Sorcerer has been touched, and this was written a while ago, and honestly, I probably need to change a couple of things to make it sound better, but a sorcerer that has been touched by the astral plane in some way, whether being born in it or being touched by an entity that resides in it, can find themselves able to control the magic that flows between the planes. Going off of the understanding of in D&D, everything is in the astral plane. It's just connected via that, and then you can get to it in different ways and all that shit. So then, aspects of the Zodiac. Your innate magic comes from your connection to the astral plane, allowing you to channel the power of the stars themselves. Star signs. When you take your astral origin feature, you may choose one of the powers of the star signs listed below. The same star sign can't be chosen twice. This occurs at 1st level, and again at 6th, 14th, and 18th level. And then we just go through the signs.
Yeah, so then that way you can only ever get 4 of the zodiac signs.
And
because
go on.
Oh, go on.
Oh.
No.
So basically we wanted to make it so that those choices could make you have, and we were talking about this while we were making it, we could have 4 different characters, a whole party of all astral origin sorcerers, but have them all be unique in some way. Right.
Yeah. Or at the very least, be their own person for a time. Because you could all go for the same 4 star signs, but just take them in different order.
Yeah, exactly.
So it could, it's that choice, that freedom of choice is really, really cool. Instead of it being like in the normal class archetypes where you get this at level 3, you get this at level blank, and this at blank, So with this, you have the freedom of choosing exactly how you want to level the Astral Sorcerer, and it's super cool.
So I figure let's take 4 each, and we can go through the star signs and talk about them a little bit. How about I guess I'll start with the first 4, then we can move on to Aiden, then we can move on to Boo. How about that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Aiden, you there?
I'm kind of here.
Oh boy.
Oh,
that's a lot of ping.
5,000 ping. Nice. Wow.
Down to 537.
Okay. All right. It's coming. So might as well just start. We'll see how it goes from there. So
I can hear you.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Okay.
We'll start with Aries. So, when you take this aspect, you feel the eternal majesty of the universe give you strength. Immediately after taking this aspect, you replace your Constitution modifier for hit points with your Charisma modifier instead when you roll for health each sorcerer level. This applies retroactively to all previous sorcerer levels and to your uses of hit die during a short rest. So, pretty straightforward and simple.
You can have a skinny, sickly sorcerer and still have tons of health.
Exactly.
And so you don't have to worry that much about having a meh or bad constitution.
The obvious downside, of course, is it doesn't affect your saves or anything. Oh, there he goes.
Ooh, yeah. Jesus.
But it doesn't affect your saves or anything. It's you can take this at any point during your choices, so that you could just take it and get it all retroactively. It definitely adds that viability, because if you need those stats in other things, you want the dexterity to be higher, you want your strength to be a little higher or something. You can have all that, but you can just not have to worry about your own well-being. In a way. After that, we've got star sign Taurus. When you take this aspect, you channel the power of the unending universe. As a touch action, you may grant one designated creature relentless endurance, page 41 of the player's handbook, so that when they are reduced to 0 hit points but not killed outright, they can drop to 1 hit point instead. This effect lasts for 1 minute or until it's triggered. You regain this ability after finishing a long rest. I mean, self-explanatory, right?
Yeah, pretty simple.
It's literally just that.
But it gives you a nice, since sorcerers are a bit less toolbox mages, aren't they? They're a bit more explosion-y.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so it gives you a little bit more team play, at least in combat.
So
that can be really useful at times.
The best part about it is that you can do it to anybody. right? Like, you can do this for somebody else if you wanted to. And the we really tried in our 7 goddamn hours to get it all to not be broken as best as possible. We were trying to think of both player perspective and DM perspective, and like we were going pros and cons for everything. And this, I think, is still like, I think these are all still just fine. They should work without breaking anything.
Yeah, I don't think we ever got any like really nasty comments on the Homebrewery page itself. Everybody thought it was pretty all right.
Yeah, I don't know. Like when I posted it, people were like, "Oh, that's really cool," and like, you know, we didn't. I remember the only piece of criticism I got was for the actual presentation, being written a bit more like the actual book, just to like spice it up and make people like it more. And I was like, yeah, okay, but I never did that.
We can always do it later, but I mean, it's really just there just to give you a kind of an official-ish look, at least.
And by the way, if you are out there and you want to do homebrew stuff and make it look official, the Homebrewery is fucking awesome. This thing is really good for 5e looking stuff. You can just make it look exactly like it would be in a book. Like it's great. It's really nice. Okay.
There he is.
Hey, he's back. The boy.
What signs did you get through?
Just
Taurus
the first
and Aries.
Yeah, just the first 2.
Okay.
So, thirdly, star sign Gemini. When you take this aspect, you are filled with the power of a binary star. As an action, you can summon a physical duplicate of yourself within a 30-foot radius once that lasts for 1 minute. This duplicate acts on your initiative, can deliver touch spells you know, has the same hit points and AC as you have when summoned, and you may also trade places with the duplicate 1 time as a bonus action. Upon death, the clone persists for the remaining duration of the ability, but can't be used. You regain this ability after finishing a short or long rest.
So I have an out-of-dated version.
Oh.
Yeah. So do I. Well, I downloaded the one Boo got me.
Okay, yeah, this is the...
I just have an older version.
So. Yeah, the you can download this one, I think, easily, just from the link that I posted.
Yeah.
I remember Taurus was Mike's.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I remember Taurus made sense just because like Taurus is the bull, and the bull is always an endurance kind of thing in a way.
I remember Capricorn being a bitch.
Yeah.
That was the one I came up with, and I'm like, yeah. Oh wait, no, was it Cancer or Capricorn? I think it was both.
I don't remember.
Because I had such a hard time with those.
I remember Gemini and Libra were mine.
I remember Gemini. Yeah, I remember us going into Gemini extensively because we were like, is it too powerful to be able to switch places with it? Does it, is it too powerful that it itself is there? Like,
I just have always loved the idea of summoning a clone of yourself and swapping places with it.
Right.
Ever since I watched Log Horizon.
Yep.
That was how they get from Japan to the mainland.
Yep.
And then that love continued in ESO when I played a Nightblade, and you can summon shadow clones of yourself and like dive into combat. And then if like it ever gets a bit much for you, you have a shadow clone that has been like raining arrows, and you just swap places with it.
Sure. Yeah. And obviously this one, it acts slightly like a familiar, since unless you take that spell, you can't really get a familiar on a sorcerer. And like if you quote unquote waste the spell slot, as some people would put it, then you would have, the spell slot is just there. But this allows that, plus it gives you a little bit more mobility, plus, as it says, upon death, the clone is gonna be there, so you could potentially trick people into thinking you died.
Yeah, because can send it in there, and then it gets killed, and then you trade places with it, and you just lay there.
Oh yeah, you could do that too. Yeah, it's true.
That'd be a really interesting play.
Yeah, I mean, it's a neat little aspect to take. And then we have Cancer. When you take this aspect, you extend your power like an asteroid field to protect your allies. As an action, you may grant up to 3 designated creatures plus 2 AC for a number of rounds equal to your charisma modifier. You regain this ability after finishing a long rest. Straightforward again. Just
yep.
you're
But
okay.
a really, really good one because you could. That's a not insignificant bonus for a potentially very long time.
Shields of faith.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's that's why it's long rest.
Yeah. It's real good.
It just struck me though the problem with all of these abilities.
Okay.
None of them have a max time.
No, they do.
Yeah, some of them do.
Yeah, no, they absolutely do.
Sorry, rounds equal to charisma modifier, but at the very least for Gemini, for the old version that I'm reading,
it lasts for a minute.
It lasts for 1 minute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
good.
That's
why. Don't worry. So, I think I made sure to go back in and actually do that.
I have it even on the old version, so yeah.
Okay, cool.
I imagine so.
So yeah, I mean, Cancer is pretty good. Don't take that out of context, please. Anyway, Aiden, why don't
clip it and send it to me, please?
Aiden, why don't you give us the next one there?
Leo?
Yeah.
All right.
Star sign true strike.
Do be aware though that I am reading the old version.
Well, okay, so are you not able to open the link?
I tried and it killed my internet.
Oh, okay. Give me a sec then. I will get you a lovely. Oh, why is this? Oh, don't worry about that. Very weird that it did that. Oh my god, what is it doing? Wait, no, I have a copy already that I can just get you. Bro, just give me a sec. Excuse me. Homebrew. It should be this one.
I'm not sure if you guys mentioned this while I was dead to Electric Boogaloo. But one of the things that we tried to do with all of these star signs was Mike had some members in his family that were big into astrology. So between his tangential knowledge of what astrological signs mean on their positive side, as well as many hours poring over very bad websites.
Oh god, that's right. We did look at those.
We did our best to make sure each sign that we had represented something about what that sign is actually supposed to represent.
Supposedly.
That's why Capricorn and Cancer were a bitch.
Yeah. It. As we were doing it, I remember getting frustrated how fucking, because everyone knows they're fucking wishy-washy.
It's so vague.
Yeah, it's literally the most vague thing, so anyone can go, oh yeah, I am
That's
that.
so me.
Right, and
you're very choosy with your friends, and you would do anything for them, and it's like,
yeah,
yeah,
no shit, that's how it works. I remember.
Oh my god, you're such a Leo, and it's like, no, I'm actually not.
Yeah, I remember.
Actually, I'm a Leonard. Fuck you.
I am Leonard. So I remember also going like,
oh my god, you're such a Virgo. No, I'm not.
I remember.
You bitch.
We were like, let's actually make this stuff make like. Or
make it apply.
Yeah, make it apply and make it like actually useful.
Yeah, and it's like, hey, that was honestly one of the hardest parts was matching an effect, a useful effect in a tabletop RPG to the fucking one of the dumbest shit.
Absolutely. It was fucking ugh.
And again, that's why Capricorn and Cancer were so bastardly, because they have they're like the same thing.
Yeah.
From what I can remember, I just remember that Capricorn or Cancer, it's one of those two, is like all about family, and then the other one is all about like being warm and kind. And I'm like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
with
oh my
rings
God.
like distant planets and with power like an asteroid field.
Yeah, so it's like this. It's the same
Yeah,
thing.
I could.
So that's why they're both defensive spells.
Exactly, and that's
skills,
why I was also just trying to figure out like a good flavor thing as well for them, because I was just like, I don't fucking know, asteroid fields, planets, haha.
Yeah, right. And I mean, there's only so many things.
Yeah.
In fairness, though, I do say we came up with a somewhat elegant solution with the fact that Cancer gives AC for physical damage, and Capricorn gives resistance to the next magical instance of damage.
Oh yeah, I think we did great. I honestly, I'm very happy with what we did. I don't think it's infallible, obviously. I feel like there's probably something that we can't think of, right? Because we, we were...
But that's the beauty of Homebrew.
Yeah.
If you decide to, if you go to this website and download it, and you're like, I don't like that, fucking change it.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Tweak it for your campaign's balance.
Absolutely.
Tweak it as much as it takes for you to get off.
Demand you do it.
Yeah. Absolutely. It is meant to be there for you to use however you see fit. Like that's why it's there.
That's why it's Homebrew, baby.
Yeah. It's like that thing I shared with you guys that Talsorian shared the other day. And it was, if one of our rules doesn't work for you, we demand you tweak or delete it for your game.
Exactly.
Well, tweak, mess with, or hack it or something.
Hack it. Yeah.
I remember there was hack.
Yeah. Hack was the thing. Because it's like, yeah, absolutely.
I'll fucking hack that shit.
It's good when you're encouraged to do such things.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, with that, we approach next at star sign Leo. Yeah. When you take this aspect, you feel the power of a meteorite's impact aid your blows. Leos are supposed to be strong and offensive, so we figured it best to, as a bonus action, you gain advantage for your next attack roll. You regain this ability after finishing a short or a long rest. It is True Strike, except not Suck.
Yeah, it is True Strike, except bonus action. Yay.
Yeah.
It's what they did for Pathfinder. Like, making it so you can just do it before you do a thing. Wow.
Yeah. So it's, it's perfectly fine.
One of my players, the rogue in my campaign, was taking part in a one-shot that the paladin in my campaign was doing. And it was a 17th level one-shot that involved two people that were pretty much, I guess, newbies to D&D, which but my rogue sent me his character sheet because like he was really happy with his character, and he's like, take a look at the stuff I have. And I noticed in his spell list he had True Strike, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah. How sad.
I'm like, I would recommend something else like Chill Touch or something if you're going to be at 17th level. Like, you're facing monsters that may have like healing factors at that level.
Yeah, and also like you have to remember that casting that spell takes your entire action. You can't split it into anything. Yeah. It's all of it.
Yep, it's so bad.
It's real fucking bad.
That was why the first day I was like, just do like Chill Touch or something, and then the next day when I had a bit more time, I'm like, this is why True Strike is bad.
Yep.
Hey,
Star sign Virgo.
Well, if you want to know even more about how True Strike is bad, you should go watch our last, when we did that in the worst cantrip and best cantrip episode.
Star sign Virgo. When you take this aspect, you gain the qualities of a star cradle to nurture and heal, because Virgos care for those around them.
Yeah.
Unlike the Leos, who are fierce.
Yeah. They care nothing for others.
Apparent. No, Leos are strong to defend their friends. Whereas Virgos help
protect their friends.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No. So Leos are strong to defend, while Virgos aid their friends. You gotta use a vague word like aid.
I see.
Mm-hmm. However, let's also not forget noble Cancer and Capricorn,
Mm-hmm.
who also aid and help their friends.
They assist. They
assist. Yeah, assist. Yeah, there you
Yes.
go. Okay, yeah.
Jesus.
As an action, you may designate up to 6 creatures, except for yourself, because Virgos are selfless. Within a 30-foot radius. These creatures gain 1d4 hit points per your sorcerer level. You regain this ability after finishing a long rest. Sprinkle a little bit of healing in this class.
Yeah. Because that was one of the things that That's one of the things that I like to be able to do, and Aiden, you're the same way. We both like characters who can do a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I like a nice modular character.
Yeah, I like a character that can do combat, do roleplay, do damage, do support, do healing. You know, I like to be able to do a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and jack of all trades.
Yeah, because I want to feel useful. But then that also runs into the problem where you're stretched too thin, so it has its ups and downs.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember
honestly, one D like up 6d4 like healing spread out at level 1 is pretty fucking good.
Yeah, at level 1, but it definitely falls off.
Yeah,
like about 20d4 is still 40 hit points.
It's still good, but I just mean like because you only get the 1d4 to each person that you well, okay, per your sorcerer level. Right, never mind, it doesn't fall off.
Yeah.
Brain. No, I remember us trying to figure out like a way to make it so that it wasn't
median. I remember we looked at median healing for health potions.
Yep. And also healing word and mass healing word and all of that. And
this one was a bit of a bitch too.
Yeah, it was definitely we didn't want a cleric to feel useless. We didn't want a paladin to feel useless. We didn't want healers to feel useless.
And that's why the long rest.
Yeah, that's why it's once and a long rest. You don't get more than one. You do it and all that, because you also have all your spells and shit. And honestly, if you really want a healing sorcerer, because I know at the time I didn't know about celestial origins, which is the angel one, so that you get actual access to like cure wounds and all that. It also doesn't take away from them, because they can use their spell slots to do it whenever, they get more than one and all that. So I at least I'm fairly confident.
This is more of a baseball bat, whereas a celestial origin sorcerer is more of a utility knife.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a scalpel. I need things healed now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Versus like, okay, we'll keep like you topped up. Okay, we'll like heal you a little bit more next.
Yep. Yeah. And like it also, I mean, it also just adds to the fact that you can throw harder things at your party now, because like this is a good thing to use, right? So yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty confident that it doesn't outclass anything. Could be wrong. I don't know. But
as always, feel free to tweak it and make it like a flat 2 if you want, or something like that.
Yeah.
And now for my baby.
Yep.
Star sign Libra.
That's right. Yeah.
When you take this aspect, you feel the balance, because Libras are good at balancing things. Like
they're good at balancing on tightropes.
They're good at balancing the desire to help their friends with the desire to aid their friends
and protect them and fucking fight for them.
And it's a scale as the sign, and all that shit.
And astrology.
Yeah.
When you take this aspect, you feel the balance between the stars and the void of space, and how to apply it to your inner power. As a bonus action, you may trade 4 hit points for 1 sorcery point, up to max HP, once, or
Need
one
another
sorcery
comment there.
point for hit points up to max HP once.
Yeah.
So that can be one of the. It's real good.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
I
go on. It was your baby.
Oh. Yeah. I personally not only like edgy boys who can teleport around, but I am very much a guy who likes pushing your power to the limit at risk of killing yourself.
Okay.
As is evidenced by Boris and his actions,
Yes.
and the paladin that I'm currently playing in my friend's campaign, and the fact that I have a pyrokineticist homebrew class that I've been working on, whose whole thing is I will cast all the fire spells, but I keep heating up my internal body temperature, and
So-
then I start suffering heat stroke.
Basically, you're literally exactly Endeavor from My Hero.
Yeah, basically.
Because that's
I can-
something else that happens with him.
Yeah, I had the idea for the pyrokineticist, I think because I think it's because of Dark Souls, actually.
Yeah, I remember.
because-
Yeah, I
about
remember that actually.
Yep.
Yeah, there's the pyromancy where like you take a fireball and you crush it into your chest.
Yep.
Yeah.
Restore
And
your
you gain a
flame.
bunch of attack power, but you're constantly taking damage.
Mm-hmm.
So the point of this star sign is basically that as a sorcerer, it sucks to not have any more meta magic for the day.
Yep.
And this is the answer for people who don't want to run out of meta magic, because you can pick how much hit points am I, a squishy sorcerer, willing to lose, because I'm losing 4 hit points, which is technically the average roll on a d6.
Yes.
It's like 3.5, which rounds up to 4.
Yeah, because you round up in D&D.
Yes. And
technically
also
down,
I
actually.
believe when you take the average roll for how much you level up, it says to take 4 hit points. So you get to cut your own health and risk dying in order to make those big plays. Or if you're in a scenario wherein you're kind of like running scared and you're like, I cannot fight this, I just need to live, please.
Yeah.
You can just cut your own sorcery points and boost up to max HP as a quick emergency heal.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take away from the fact that you can already sacrifice spell slots for sorcery points, because this is a choice, because you only get this once just like that, but it is also a bonus action. So you would have to do one or the other first off. And then second off, so it doesn't break your bonus action economy. And then second off, it's your health.
But who wants to lose spell slots?
Exactly.
Spell slots are cool.
Exactly.
HP is lame.
Yeah, exactly. Who needs your health when you could get the things for your spells?
Yeah.
Don't want to lose being able to cast 6 more fireballs, dude.
Yeah.
What use is meta magic if I don't have spell slots?
Exactly. So
the answer is, what use is more spell slots in meta magic when you're down for the count?
Yeah, exactly. But again, like, I'm just trying to say, like, if you are concerned about it being a replacement for that, it can't be really.
Yeah.
I mean, it can technically, but it's not a 1-to-1 replacement, because it is more costly. First off,
it's like trying to hit the trifecta of what a sorcerer is. You can think of a sorcerer as like a triangle. On one end is their HP, on another end is their spell slots, and on the other end is their meta magic. And they already have the ability to transfer from meta magic to spell slots, but then this also allows you to transfer HP and meta magic as well. So you can use this in tangent with the other ability to basically shift that triangle into what you need at this point.
Yep. All right.
So it's a cool ability.
Yeah, no, it's super cool.
Yeah.
All right, name my star sign, Aiden.
Oh, am I reading the rest?
No.
No, there's you got 4.
Yeah.
There's
okay.
Yeah, we each get 4, and Scorpio's your 4th.
Yeah, that's the 4th one.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah. Star sign Scorpio. When you take this aspect, you gain the power of a focused supernova to explode across. You gain the power of a focused supernova to explode across a foe. That's a sentence.
Yep.
It is a sentence.
We should edit that. You may, as a reaction, reflect the last instance of damage inflicted to you onto the target that dealt it as force damage. The target makes a con saving throw versus your spell save DC. On a successful save, the target takes half damage. You regain this ability after finishing a long rest.
Because
it is the
Scorpio.
Know You.
Yeah, it's the Uno reverse card. And Scorpios are really caustic and hard to deal with, like me. You know how it is.
Do you guys remember who made this? I think this was Mike?
I don't remember.
I honestly can't remember.
Yeah, it's been so long.
All I remember
I remember having it be force damage was your input, Alejo.
Yeah, because it was supposed to be force shit for the astral stuff in general.
The idea was because everything in D&D is weak to force. Like in the sense of nothing overcomes it, right? Like there's only I think 1 or 2 things that have a resistance to it. Plus
it's 2 and one of them's the Tarask.
Yeah, exactly, right. And so that it was a viable use so that it wasn't just going to be completely negated by something, but also just because there's not enough force damage out there, right?
That's the main thing.
You don't see a lot of force damage besides magic missile, and no, not even catapult. That's bludgeoning. I can't think of too many off the top of my head at the moment, but force damage is good. And it should be used more. And so space has force because space force.
Hell yeah.
And Jedi.
Well, and also them, I guess, but in a different way. Oh, that reminds me. Do you guys see that they're bringing psionics into Tasha's Cauldron of Everything or whatever?
Oh, good.
Yeah, I heard.
Yep. There's a link that I can give you guys that tells you everything they give in that is known so far. It's the D&D leak.
Oh, sorry. Quick addendum.
Okay.
Force damage is resisted by nothing, but 1 thing is immune to it.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah. But the thing is, like,
because I think it's the Tarask.
It's probably the Tarask. Yeah. So, legitimately, it's just one of those things where you just don't see it, and so fuck it. Why not? I don't know.
So let's see here. Sword Burst does force.
Okay.
That's a cantrip. Mold Earth can technically do force.
Oh, it's the Helmed Horror.
Okay. Oh, the Helmed Horror, really? Well,
according to one harmonic goat on Reddit.
There you go. I guess
Jim's Jim's Magic Missile from Acquisitions Incorporated?
Yeah, Acquisitions Incorporated has a bunch of like wacky spells because Acquisitions Incorporated is like a silly D&D thing.
You create 3 twisting, whistling, hypoallergenic, gluten-free darts of magical force.
Yep.
Okay.
The entire point is just it's ridiculous.
I see.
I think they're Acquisitions Incorporated was the Penny Arcade group, I think.
Oh, okay.
And they do like actual like D&D play stuff. I could be wrong about the Penny Arcade bit, but I know it's a popular group that does D&D actual play.
Just looked it up. Helmed Horror is indeed immune to force damage.
Okay, interesting. Cool. That's a strange one.
Well, hey, if you have problems with force damage, go find yourself a Helmed Horror.
Now, if you want to do the best force damage, I'm pretty sure Disintegrate is the best way to go. It's level 6.
Okay.
On a failed save, the target takes 10d6 plus 40 force damage.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, that'll do it.
That's pretty good.
I thought it was necrotic.
Nope.
You're disintegrating them.
Yeah.
I don't know. They have blight.
I
they have
suppose
blight
it's
for that.
like I just suppose it's a Kamehameha. Well, blight's more of a dot, though.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
It's an immediate burst. There's no dots really.
Yeah. Not. Yeah.
Dots,
That's weird.
Dots don't exist in 5e.
Fucking weird.
Really?
They had them in 4th edition. I mean, the Eldritch Knowledge.
Right. They had them a long time ago in many other editions, but now it's not a thing.
Apparently, it was too hard to track.
Yeah, people don't want to track numbers. Too hard. Number herdy. Brain mushy.
Right.
Yeah.
Watch out, the 5G network.
keep number out of my math game.
Yeah, exactly, right.
All right.
I guess disintegrate is just more or less supposed to be like a Kamehameha, and the fact that you hit them with so much force, they just kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
Although disintegrate, a thin green ray springs from your pointing finger to a target you can see within range. That seems more necrotic. It's green.
Hey man, fucking finger of death is black. Okay, that's necrotic.
So star sign Sagittarius, and I remember that this before we even adopted the star sign thing, this one had a different name that got put into the description.
Yes.
When you take this aspect, you embrace some of the qualities of a cosmic wanderer. That was the initial name of this one, Cosmic Wanderer. And gain insight into how to apply them to your body. As a reaction, you can dissolve your body into a nebulous mist form, causing an enemy to have disadvantage for one attack. You can regain this ability after a short or long rest.
Yep.
And this was the one that I thought up first.
That was that was the initial.
That was you, Boo.
That was
this was mine.
Yep, that was the initial. It was great.
And so I thought it would just be, so it was originally just called Cosmic Wanderer.
Yep.
And I just thought it would be cool to, I had this image of in my head of like dissolving and like turning into like a nebula.
Mm-hmm.
And it would just look really cool for that.
Through the universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the note here. Cosmic Wanderer 6th level. Once per short rest, attacks have disadvantage against you for one attack reaction. Nebulous form, become constellation body.
Yeah.
And then next to it, I have Sagittarius.
This one, it works really well for Sagittarius because Sagittarius love to travel.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I guess.
Because not many people like traveling.
Yeah, I don't know.
I hate traveling. I hate going to new places.
Yeah, I hate everything. And so this also gives you that little, because we never made, I mean, at some point we might, but Cosmic Wanderer, whatever that is,
yeah,
you can have a field day with that. Fucking
like you can make that shit.
What the fuck is that?
Maybe it has like the constant thing where you have like a 25% chance to miss, just no matter what.
Yeah, it's like a Displacer Beast in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Excuse me.
But yeah.
And then this is the one that I took a ton of time searching to figure this one out. Because, again, this one and Cancer are all like family. And I love everybody around me. I love all my friends. But this one was specifically like family. And so it was like, okay.
No, Leo is I protect my friends.
Well, then the star sign Capricorn defends them. How about that?
Yeah, exactly.
When you take this aspect, you surround your allies with rings like the distant planets to protect them. As a bonus action, you may grant a number of creatures equal to your charisma modifier damage resistance against the next instance of magical damage taken for 1 minute, and you regain it after a long rest. So, more protection, because family. I like my family, and I want to blow them up with a fireball without singeing them too hard.
My family.
Yeah. And then honestly,
just slap that on them, tell them I hope you pass reflex saves, and then fireball.
Yeah, right? And then these two are actually some of my favorites, Aquarius and Pisces, because they're both kind of the same thing. They're both like, oh, you like performing. Pisces is all like, oh, you like performing. And Aquarius, oh, you're smart and you like passing your knowledge on to others while performing. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
And these are just character stuff. It's not combat or anything. It's
we wanted
take this aspect.
We wanted to include that so that we could have that kind of stuff, like so that you had options other than just combative stuff.
Yeah. So it's more of a role playing one, which is really nice.
If you want to be more of a lore master kind of guy.
Yeah. And when you take this aspect, ancient knowledge flows through you that only the stars remember of the magical arts, the events of the past, and the divine. Immediately after taking this aspect, you gain proficiency in history, and you add 2 to your proficiency bonus on arcana and religion checks permanently. And then for Pisces...
well written.
Thank
Good
you.
job on that one, Alejo.
I tried.
Good.
That one makes up for the
Stars remember
supernova,
it.
I suppose.
I tried real hard with that. Because these two, I was just like,
Yeah, right?
Yeah, no, that one I'm pretty proud of, honestly.
Yeah, that one's real good.
Anyway.
When you take this aspect, you shine like a star to those around you. Immediately after taking this aspect, you gain proficiency in performance and adds 2 to your proficiency bonus on persuasion and insight permanently. So pretty much the exact same thing, just different skills.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all knowledge.
Skills.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're supposed to be, social, Pisces.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, it's literally, it's just like, this is if I persuade, okay, so you just gained those because Pisces performs as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's these are like, if you definitely want that stuff, like, it's super good to have because then you just get proficiency and shit and all that. Oh man, good stuff.
It's real good.
And honestly,
and then if I remember right, we checked, and sorcerers don't get history or performance, right?
As far as I remember, yeah, they don't.
Unless you get the background that lets you take them.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why these are really good. If you don't want to take that background, you can take this and you can still get it.
Yeah, absolutely. We were trying to figure out like the bonus and all that. And I feel like 2 is a solid number in D&D as a bonus, right?
Yeah, it usually is.
It's usually pretty solid. A +2 is not too bad and not too good.
Not to mention it's permanent.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember actually when I was thinking about how well worded the Aquarius thing was, how much of an absolute pain it was to get all of the star signs mechanically to sound the same way that they do in the book.
Yep.
And how much pasting I did in my room as like I think it was like Mike and I were the ones primarily like, okay, it needs to be worded like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a bunch of them I was typing out on my laptop, and I'm like, that one's good for approval, sent it to you, Alejo.
Yeah, right, I remember that.
Worked on the next one, sent it to you, and I'm like, I will be the goddamn editor.
Yeah, as we basically got a bunch of the rough stuff, like, this is all the stuff that I have of just what it does, and then you did the whole, this is how it should sound, and it was great. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's fucking fantastic.
So now, Aiden, were you there when we did the warrior subclass that I wanted to do? Or fighter subclass, sorry.
I was there for part of it. I remember I came up with a couple really good sounding names to some things.
Then here you go. Oh, do you have open? There you go. It's that, and you'll need open office to open it.
Yeah, I think I have a copy of that too. Yeah, there it is. I have it. So.
And so this one was not ever put on the home brewery because we made it, and then it just kind of fell by the wayside.
I honestly, I was like burnt out.
Yeah, because we were like, we made the Astro Sorcerer, and then like 3 days later, I was like, hey, I got another idea for a class. And you're like,
no, and like it was super fun to do, absolutely, and I would love to keep doing them. It's just one of those things where you need a little bit of time to recharge, you know?
Yeah, but we managed to do it.
Yeah. Oh, it's true. It's true.
So it's just
Serpent's Kiss. That was the one I named.
Yeah.
So go for it.
And so this is your
baby.
Yeah, this. Oh, you mean Serpent's Kiss or what?
All of it.
Oh yeah. This one has a little bit. This one has a bit less choice, but it does still have some choice. Mm-hmm. because we were like, okay, we could take. I wanted it to be exactly like the Astral Sorcerer, where you could take them at any level, but then there was no point in not taking like Great Ape's Power or Serpent's Kiss at a later level.
I remember we were talking about it, and it was just like, yeah, I would like to do that, but then we started seeing like the power, and it's just like, yeah you kind of need to structure it this way, unfortunately. But
so structure it was,
dude. Oh, this would be fantastic for Pathfinder 2e because they have feats that you can only take at certain levels.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
This is a Pathfinder 2e class.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. We can transcend the bonds of 5e.
When I saw it to be taken at 7th level only, I'm like, that's weird. Macaw's Mockery, I named that one too.
Yep.
But I was like, that's weird. And then I'm like, where have I seen that before? And I'm like, my alchemist.
Yeah, it's true. Anyway.
So, boo.
Go on.
I'm doing it?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to hand it off, let us know, but go for it.
Well, let's see here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we'll each do 3. How about that?
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so to be taken at level 3 only. Great Ape's Power. Once per short rest as a bonus action, add 1d6 to your next melee weapon attack roll, and 1d6 bludgeoning damage to that attack's damage roll. The damage increases to 2d6 at 4th level, 3d6 at 8th, 4d6 at 12th, 5d6 at 16th, and 6d6 at 20th. If your attack misses, the effect ends. If attacking with advantage, you choose the roll to apply the effect on.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what does that mean?
You can stack it with advantage.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it. Yeah.
You can only get it on one of them, but not both.
Yes. Yeah, so if you roll a 1 and then you roll a 15, you can choose to apply the Great Ape's Power or the 1d6 to the 15 and not the 1.
Exactly.
Yeah. And yeah, I just thought it would be kind of cool to like channel the power of a big fuck off monkey.
Hell yeah, dude.
And be Ozaru. Basically.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think I came up with this because of a character that I wanted to make. Mm-hmm. I wanted to make, and I think it was a campaign that I think you were going to run, Alejo, or at least I ran the character by you. Because I really like the race, the Yuan-Ti.
Yep.
Because they're big snake dudes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I remember.
And I specifically wanted to play, because there is... excuse me, Jesus. There are rules for playing as the Yuan-Ti pureblood, which are basically just humanoids with a little bit of a snake bit on them.
Yeah.
But I really, really like the Yuan-Ti Malisons, which are full-on, like, snake dudes. Mm-hmm. But they have actual, like, snake stuff. So, like...
very visible.
Essentially like a Lamia kind of thing.
In a
except...
way.
Yeah, because they don't have
a D&D Lamia.
Yeah.
Right, true.
Yeah. But yeah, you can have like the upper torso of a man covered in scales. Huh?
Watsy, you've made an enemy of me.
Yeah. But yeah, you could have like a guy with the upper torso and like arms and head and like a big snake head, but he has like the big snake tail for no legs.
Yep.
And then there's ones where it's like you have the human head, but you have like I forget.
Snake head. There were hands that were snake heads.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's right.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
And so I specifically wanted to make a kind of a warrior guy who's kind of like neutral, like true neutral or neutral evil.
Yep.
That was like, I'd like to, like, maybe I got sent out to, like, explore human society or whatever, and I'm like, this is kind of nice. Maybe I don't really want to go back to the hot, steamy jungle and, like, eat slaves. I don't know.
Yeah, I remember. I'm remembering more and more of our conversation. Yeah, you wanted to make this character for a thing.
There were a few things that the Yuan-Ti can do as... just because they're monsters, like they can transform into regular snakes. Yeah. And my whole thing was that since I'm a big, scary fucking snake dude, I was going to ask you if I could take the ability that the Yuan-Ti have to transform into a snake.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so I was going to come out of the jungle with a big fuck-off basket and be like, hey, I'm going to transform into a snake and go in this basket. If you want to make some money, we'll fake the whole snake charmer thing.
Yeah, that's right.
And that way I can go around the city without being like fucking shot at by the guards. Anyway,
that's right.
But that's where it all came from, because I wanted to play a warrior or fighter.
Yep.
And I wanted this to be like the unique thing, because it's like, oh, he's from the jungle. Maybe they teach them to like channel the power of the animals that live there. Yeah. Anyway, to be taken at level 3 only, Serpent's Kiss. Once per short rest as a bonus action, imbue your next melee weapon's attack with an additional 1d8 poison damage. And damage increases to 2d8 at 5th, 3d8 at 9th, 4d8 at 13th, and 5d8 at 17th levels. This effect lasts for 1 minute or until a creature is struck with your imbued weapon. The target makes a Constitution saving throw at DC 8 plus your proficiency, plus half your fighter level, rounded down. On a successful save, the target takes half damage. And so, Great Ape's power has a bit more accuracy, but if you miss, the effect ends. Plus, it does D6 damage, whereas Serpent's Kiss will go essentially for 10 rounds or until you hit something, but most likely until you hit something. But since it's poison damage, it needs to do a tad bit more because of how shitty poison is.
Yeah.
Because they're
and also to incentivize people to take it over Great Ape.
Over the Great Ape. Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's a trade-off because if I remember right, the poison is resisted in the base monster manual by 114 things.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Hold on, I still have.
Is it 114 or like 141? I know that there's a 1 and a 4 in there.
It could just be 14.
It's not. I know it's more than 14.
I know, it's a lot. Like, there's so many things that just don't get affected by poison.
It sucks.
It's unfortunate.
What is immune to force damage?
Basically, poison's really only effective if you're fighting mostly other humans.
Yeah, it is definitely more of a, like, normal town kind of thing.
Yeah.
You wanna fight a guard? Nice.
Poison.
You want to fight that commoner?
We gotta find out how many things are resistant to poison.
Aiden's
because I'm just too curious now.
By poison, resisted by 5, immunity by 95, vulnerability 0.
90. Okay, whoa. 95 things are immune.
Yeah.
Yes.
What the
5 are resistant.
Okay, I knew it was like 100, but what the fuck?
It is far and away. It has the most immunity. The second one is fire immunity.
Yes, fire. Yep.
With 40?
Yep. It's the two most common elements, and so they made it so that I don't know why.
It's really effective against humans, but.
You seem to forget, Boo. Poison is devils are immune to both fire and poison.
That's right. Yeah,
I know. I know. It's real bad. So that's why
Snakes
serpents
are immune to poison for some reason.
Because they have venom, I guess.
So
that's not how that works.
Right?
I know.
A snake can bite a snake and the snake die.
Yeah, right. A cobra can kill it. Oh well, never mind.
You can take a cobra's venom glands and like lance it, and it will die.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh man. Anyway, so unfortunately, that's why Serpent's Kiss. Man, I wish poison wasn't like. I wonder if we should have made it so like this poison, like, ignores resistances. That'd be nice.
Yeah, I would say no, like not doing that. Yeah. But definitely you could do that with There's a feat for it where you can choose.
Is there?
Yeah, you can choose
like if it resists it does normal damage,
I think.
And then if it's immune, it does like half damage or quarter damage or something
like that. I think I think it's for magic users, unfortunately. Mostly, but I don't see why not, take it. I'll check Player's Handbook as you read the next one.
Wow. Yeah. To be taken at 7th level only, Macaw's Mockery, which I love that name so much.
It's pretty good.
As an action, one target makes
No, go on. Finish the thing.
Okay. As an action, one target makes a wisdom saving throw at DC 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus half your fighter level rounded down. On a failed save, the target must attack the caster. The target can repeat the saving throw at the beginning of its following turns. A successful save ends this effect. The caster gains +1 AC against attacks from the target while it is under the effect of Macaw's Mockery. You cannot have more than one target under the effect of Macaw's Mockery at once, and if the target makes its saving throw, it cannot be placed under this effect again for another 24 hours. So, it's a taunt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I remember, you wanted the taunt, Boo, and you and I scrolled through Jungle Birds for a while, and I learned a lot about ornithology. And we were looking for some sort of like alliteration to use for the thing. And I'm like, dude, why not just use macaw? Macaw, mock.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's very good. So, not to go back, but Aiden, do you still have that thing up about the resistances and all that?
Yeah, hold on, let me link it. I found actually a better site that has it in a nice little table.
Ooh. Because I want to know how many are acid, like
acid nowhere near as much.
Apparently, according to this website, the guy like missed a few monsters that have bludgeoning vulnerabilities.
Right, yeah.
But it's still pretty indicative of the whole of 5e.
So I would actually wonder, Boo, would you want to change it to acid damage instead? Because acid is resisted by 30, immune to 24.
I wouldn't mind doing that, because really it was just Serpent's Kiss because, snakes do poison damage, but I wouldn't mind changing it to acid just so that way it's more useful.
Yeah, I was going to say, then it actually becomes more useful, more incentive, and like what I was looking at before, Elemental Adept is the feat, and it does it for you have to be able to cast at least one spell, and it's for acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder. There's no poison.
What the fuck?
Yeah. I think the whole ability started because Boo wanted some way to have blow darts be an effective weapon. Like in general, because blow darts suck in 5e.
Yeah, I actually had an idea for that for a character, but I'll go into that later. Another time.
And then I've also linked the original source that I've been using up until now.
Yeah.
But the only reason I named it Serpent's Kiss is because there's a metal song by Symphony X that's called Serpent's Kiss, and I was feeling particularly edgy that night.
Nice.
And it works.
But yeah, I would say we could have it be the same everything. It's just make it
just acid instead. Yeah.
So.
And it still works. We can still leave it as the 1d8 because it still has the Constitution saving throw to cut it in half, and it also still has the thing where it lasts for a minute instead of just one attack.
Yep.
Yeah. So far, actually, the biggest problem I have with the Jungle Warrior subclass really is Great Ape's power. Like, oh my god, why would you ever not take it?
It's true.
Yeah, I mean, hey, this is part of the point of the thing. We can kind of workshop it as
workshop it.
Once we get through it all. Let's get through it all first, though.
Yeah. So,
plus, we did not put nearly as much effort into this as we did the
because we were fucking tired.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so, Aiden, you go ahead and do Piranha Swarm to Jaguar Claws.
Sure thing.
Oh wait, there's 13, not 12. Whoops. Anyway.
Oh, it's fine.
Do you want to take Piranha Swarm then, and then?
Yeah, sure.
This is your baby.
Yeah, sure. This is the other counterpart to Macaw's Mockery. To be taken at 7th level only. Piranha Swarm. Gain advantage on attack rolls if at least one allied creature is within 5 feet of you and the ally isn't capacitated. So it just gives you pack tactics.
Yeah.
And so the things at level 7 are where the subclass begins to kind of branch. It goes down a branching path, because if you take Macaw's Mockery, that is an ability entirely dedicated to like a tanky version of it, whereas Piranha Swarm is one that'll let you be like this frontline fighter that, is all about getting in there and killing shit as opposed to defending people and protecting them.
Yeah, you don't see. I mean, I think only the Cavalier is the one class that I can think of for fighter that's official that is like it has something similar in the sense of I think you can do like oh no I think Barbarian has the Path of the Ancestors or something where you can also summon a spectral ancestor to like make one guy not able to attack other people as well and only attack you. But the Cavalier can also, I think, do that in a way or impose some kind of disadvantage or something. I don't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, you don't see much of the whole like keeping people from getting to your allies.
Yeah, it's usually just broken down into Sentinel.
Yeah, yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
And if we wanna make
I
it
was thinking initially that's like, oh, paladins actually defend.
Do they?
Paladins have a thing at second level where they can impose disadvantage if they're within 5 feet of the ally being attacked and have a shield.
Right. Yes, there's that too. Okay, so maybe there is more than I think, but I guess I just don't see it a lot because
it's definitely just martial classes.
Yeah, it is. It is definitely just martial classes. You're right. Yeah. Anyway.
Tanky wizard.
Yeah.
So next we have the 10th level feat, Elephant's Rage. Permanently gain +1 AC. Elephants have like that hardened skin, and honestly, +1 AC at 10th level is not too big of a deal. It's good, but the real key here is that once prolonged rest, as an action, you can charge toward an enemy and make a melee weapon attack. On a hit, you do 3d8 plus your strength modifier piercing damage. If you move at least 20 feet and hit your target, you will knock your target prone. The target makes a strength saving throw at DC 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your strength modifier. On a successful save, the target remains standing. Basically, you tuck your head in and you charge like an elephant, tusks blazing.
Yep.
Throw them over your fucking shoulder.
Yeah, you put your hands up to the either side of your head, stick out your pointer fingers, and charge at them.
Oh, give me 1 second. Oh, I'm eating wasabi at
Oh.
You alright there?
Quick, do Jaguar's Claws right now!
I'm eating some wasabi edamame.
Yeah.
And like the whole packet of like wasabi powder was underneath the skin.
Oh.
And I like to peel the skins.
Yep.
Just because they have a nice different little texture.
And
my mouth is on fire.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Well,
this and Cayman's Lockjaw, I think.
I forgot I made two.
Were ones that I was in a bit more involved in, and it was because I like wrestling and like big power moves.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And grappling should be in 5e.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What we have is not grappling.
It is not grappling. It's just holding somebody's shirt. That's all you're fucking doing.
So 10th level, bit more of an offensive thing, Jaguar's Claws. Once prolonged rest, as an action, you hit a creature with a melee weapon attack and you roll an additional 1d6 at the end of the affected creature's turns as bleed damage.
Yeah, it's
this
a dot.
additional damage.
It's a dot.
Yep. Increases to 2d6 at 14th level, 3d6 at 19th level. At the beginning of each of its turns, the target makes a con saving throw at DC plus your proficiency bonus plus your strength modifier. A successful save ends this effect. I'm actually really happy with this one.
Yep.
It's very good.
It's a dot. Because they don't exist.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's very strange. The only dot that I think that's really official is technically burning, where you take a d6 of damage every round unless you take an action or your movement or something to roll around on the ground for a second.
Yep.
Right?
It's your action.
It's your action? Okay, yeah.
And honestly, at higher level, when you have so much health, that d6 does not matter.
Exactly, right? Like, there's nothing.
My action is worth so much more than 1d6 incoming damage.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Like, I don't know why there isn't more.
Even at level like 3 or 4, basically, is like the end of when it stops being effective.
Oh yeah,
Because at that point in time, you're meaty enough, and like 1d6 damage is not worth like your action, except for like if you're using a short sword. I would rather do like 1d8 damage out if I have a long sword, or even 1d10 if I'm
Sure.
holding it with both hands, than stop myself getting 1d6.
And like the only other thing that I can see doing additional damage are the damage from effects that last, like concentration spells, right? Or there are some monsters that you have to roll your Constitution saving throw when they attack you because they have some sort of poison, but the poison is just an initial like damage and then a burst of damage, and usually that's it. Right, it's the status effect that it does more so.
The poisoned condition.
Yeah, exactly. It's literally, oh, now you're disadvantaged on attack rolls.
Yeah, you remember the good old days of D&D Basic, where if you get poisoned, you're dead.
Save versus death.
Save versus
or die.
Death, yeah. Oh God, no, please no, not that again,
dude. There is nothing more stressful than rolling save versus death with Thaco, and it's like, I rolled a 13. What the fuck does this mean?
Yep.
Yeah, right.
Yep. It's it's definitely
Thaco's so weird.
Yeah. And also, like, I'm personally like, just like save versus death was a bad thing.
It makes sense in very, very select circumstances.
Absolutely.
But not for something as simple as a snake bite.
Yeah. I mean, well, so
I can see a few monsters having the ability to insta-kill you. But
what I would say is, yes, it is more realistic to have that, but I'm not 100% about that level of realism.
Yeah, certainly not those levels.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because that's like, a snake is like a CR, like, 1/4.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
it's got like 2 HP.
If I fight a snake and then I just instantly die, like, it is that argument of the cat that can kill the wizard again, but even so, like, the snake would kill the wizard more so than the cat. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Dude, I remember in Brogan's campaign, when I was playing Muscle Wizard, I specifically was holding the snake by, like, my index finger was at the base of its skull.
Yeah.
Where, like, it can't wriggle around and, like, bite me. And Brogan was, like, still rolling, its, like, opposed grapple checks. And I'm like, dude, I have neutered this snake.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's like, well, it can still bite you. I'm like, it can't.
Have you ever held a snake
Have you
before?
ever picked up a snake?
Yeah, I know, right? Like,
have you ever seen how people who know how to handle snakes pick up a snake?
I used to fucking find gardener snakes a lot when I was a kid, and I would just throw them around. Well, not throw them around, but pick them up and, like, you know, handle them and then throw them back into the forest when I needed to.
It's all right. Yeah, it's all right, Alejo. I'll admit it. I threw them around. I'll pick them up out of the garden and then just kind of toss them into the grass and just eat them.
like it was
They have such a low terminal velocity.
Oh yeah, no, I doubt they would get hurt from the small little throws that I would do to get them back into the woods, right? I just remember.
Yeah, it's not like I'm yeeting the snake.
No, I'm not taking it over my head, swinging it around, and then throwing it into a tree. You know, like
that's what you do with the frogs.
That's what I would do to. No, I wouldn't even get near those things. I'd shoot them.
You pick it up and you just do a little underhanded toss and it lands in the long grass and it's like, that boy's fine.
It's just like, go Snick, have fun.
Go get out of here, Danger Noodle.
No, they're just snakes. They don't have danger.
Go be a danger to, like, a cricket.
Exactly, right? Like, they're not a danger to us. They are nice snake.
The worst thing a gardener snake will do will pee on you.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
And I remember both of my parents were just like, oh, snakes, dude, why did you touch that? Your hands are going to smell so bad. And I, like, smell my hands immediately, and I'm like, they smell fine. What do you mean?
Don't smell like anything.
I don't smell a snake at all on me.
There's like a 30% chance.
Absolutely. Like, it never happened, though, so I'm happy about that, I guess.
What annoys me is when people say snakes are slimy, and it's like, you've
not.
never touched a snake.
Yeah, they've never
They
touched
look
it.
slimy, but they're not.
Eels are slimy. No,
Yes.
snakes don't even look slimy. They look oily.
Well, so
That's a good, yeah.
People mistake the glisten for
Yeah.
it just being slime, right?
Yeah.
Like it's that colloquialism
know,
of if it glistens, it is slimy.
I would love to show them, I don't know, some vegetable oil on a rolling pin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or a hagfish.
Wow, that was really specific, Aiden. Why would you say that?
yeah. Very. Oil on a rolling pin,
Moving
huh?
on.
Well, I guess something new to talk about to your therapist.
Yeah. Call my therapist.
Talk to them
Tell
about
him
my
he's a
crippling-
rich man.
Yeah, my crippling fear of baking paraphernalia.
No, I thought it was an
Saran
attraction to them, wanting to oil them up.
Get a little bit of Crisco for this rolling pin. It's like that, you put the Crisco in the frosting. Why are you?
Yeah, right?
Need it for the rolling pin.
This week on Will It Fit?
Anyway,
Cayman's
to
Lockjaw.
be taken. To be taken at 15th level only. Another one of my attempts at getting wrestling
Hell yeah.
into 5e. Once per long rest, as an action, you deal 3d10 plus your strength modifier piercing damage, and the target is grappled between your thick, meaty arms. The target can escape on a DC 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your strength modifier saving throw. The target can repeat the saving throw at the beginning at each of its turns. The target is restrained until the grapple ends.
Oh, you're telling me that it's effective? They can't do shit except for
They
try to
can't
get out
do
of the
shit.
grapple? Oh my god! What grappling?
Grapple good?
Grapple good?
No.
No.
No way.
Not in
Throw-
my
throw
5e.
teeth from your arms and
Yeah.
just slam them
Hell
into
yeah,
your
dude.
enemy.
It's
Hell yeah.
Immediately as soon as it was like, I was just like, oh yeah, that's a fucking gator right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Start doing the death roll.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck yeah.
So fucking cool.
Also to be taken at 15th level, but why would you?
Oh wow, dude,
Eagle's
you're gonna step on it like
Talons.
that and not let me get my 3?
Yeah.
You gonna...
Oh well, by all means.
Yeah, you
but
did the elephant, the jaguar, and the caiman.
Yeah, come on. Let me
go-
get.
Go ahead and take the worst 15th level one, I
Yeah,
guess.
I will. Why not?
Eagle's Talons. It's
Eagles-
just Jaguar's Claws.
Equals.
Oh my god, that one had so much wasabi. Why? Oh god.
Karma. That's some karma.
I guess.
Apple juice, save me.
Eagle's Talons. Once per short rest, as an action, you deal 2d6 plus your strength modifier slashing damage. On a hit, the target is blinded. The target may make a constitution saving throw at DC 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus half your fighter level rounded down. A successful save ends this effect. So you fucking scratch out their eyes, dude.
Yeah.
Get them out of
Yeah,
there.
You play
I think-
Quinn.
Yeah, oh yeah, hell yeah.
I think this one started as Boo, like you wanted to like slash someone on the forehead and have the blood drain down into their eyes or something.
I think so, but I think it just became like the just attacking them and like hitting them,
Yeah,
going for the eyes.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Mhm.
The flavor text would be, you take your weapon to, I don't know, take their eyes, dude. Just take them.
Take their fucking eyes. And then if they make the saving throw, they regrow their eyes.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever.
Yeah. Like Call of Duty.
Yeah. Or if we're playing Far Cry, they break their thumb and then they can see again.
Yeah, exactly.
And then this one, the first 18th level one does have the worst name, I'll be honest. It needs to be something else.
So
but-
at 18th level, the first choice here is Tyrannosaurus Rex's. Dude, we should just have it as Rex's. Just Rex's. I feel. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
I was actually thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah,
Just
okay, that's
just
fine.
to say, like, because Tyrannosaurus
now,
Rex.
Now wait, is it called Tyrannosaurus Rex in the monster manual, or is it called Rex?
I think it's Tyrannosaurus Rex, but everybody knows what you mean.
It is the Tyrannosaurus
Yeah, it's true. Rex's domination. That's fine.
So Rex's domination, once per long rest as an action, your next melee weapon attack will deal an additional 6d12 piercing damage.
So it's just a big chunk of damage.
And this is this is important because now that I'm reading this, your next melee weapon attack will deal an additional 6d12 piercing damage. And is this intended? So I would also say that we would need to add in, if you whiff, like, does it maintain or do you lose it?
Yeah, because again, this was when we were super fucking tired.
This was at the end of it.
One line of dialogue to explain it.
So
roar is better.
But yes, roar. Rex's roar to be taken at 18th level. Once per long rest, as an action, you can create a deafening blast of sound in a 15-foot cone. Creatures in that area take 4d12 bludgeoning damage.
Thunder damage.
Thunder damage.
It needs to not be bludgeoning damage.
Thunder damage and are frightened. Each creature in that area must make a DC 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your strength modifier saving throw. On a successful save, they take half damage and are not frightened. Oh.
So quick thing, real quick.
Quick?
I've noticed quickly that there is no lion, and the lion is the king of the jungle.
Well,
so why not make that
live in jungles?
Yeah,
they live on the savannah. That's the thing.
Yeah,
it's called the king of the jungle, but
it really is the tiger that lives in the jungle.
Yep.
However, why not still take inspiration from that and call that roar like the king's decree or something?
Ooh.
Because they're all big. The reason why we haven't do that is because all of them have the animal's name in there. So like great ape, serpent, macaw, piranha, elephant, jaguar, eagle.
But just make you roar like a lion, and it's in the flavor text and people know.
Yeah, I mean, so.
It's still open to changing.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
It's just we just liked the names.
Yeah, at the time,
with including all the animal names in there.
I like the idea of King's Decree. That is a good
that's
name.
really cool.
That's a good name.
It's like there's two for Tyrannosaurus Rex.
It is true.
Like
You're
all
right.
the other animals got one.
You're right.
Yeah, the problem was that we fucking racked our brain for a second powerful animal, and there's not.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, as I recall, this was also at like 3:30 a.m. and truth be told, I wanted to go to bed and did not care.
It's fine.
Yeah, I remember when you came to me with I was like, Rex.
But I mean, we still made it, and it's still there. A fair portion of them are still pretty good. It's just the last two, and maybe
the first one.
in the first one, those three need to get reworked or renamed or something. Something needs to change.
Wait, the first one?
Yeah, I would.
Great Ape's Power?
The Great Ape's Power, that definitely needs a nerf.
Well, let me see.
Once per short rest, as a bonus action, get 1d6 inspiration plus bonus damage that scales to 66 at 20th level with absolutely no mention of the fact that you cannot stack it with Tyrannosaurus Rex's domination, meaning at 18th level you can make a melee weapon attack, add 6d12 because of Tyrannosaurus Rex, plus 66.
It's pretty fucking cool, isn't it?
Power.
It's a little much.
I'm fucking around. Yeah.
Yeah, that is quite a lot, actually. Now that you say it.
But again, that's why we never released this.
Yeah. As an action, your next melee. So actually, now that I think about it, Rex's domination. That completely takes away your action. So you would make it a bonus action to mitigate the use of both.
Yeah. So Rex's domination, or whatever we're gonna call it.
Yeah. Because you're taking your entire action to get damage on the next attack. So it's literally True Strike, but You don't have
But
concentration.
there is a big payoff at least.
There is a big payoff at least. You don't have concentration, but it's also like, that's your turn.
Yeah, that's your turn. Is channeling the power of the T-Rex.
Yeah, so.
But yeah, no.
The T-Rex ape.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
There's a homebrew monster.
That's what I'm saying. So with, if you make both bonus actions, you can't use both.
Yeah.
Which kind of solves it a bit. Yeah, I would say honestly, the next thing to nerf would be definitely the addition to the attack roll. Why not we just make it? Why don't we just make it just a flat +2? Cause you know what, +2. Like it's because I understand wanting to roll a die to get more to your attack roll, but if you make it a D4, it's like bless. If you make it the D6, all right, even so, it's also like the starting bard inspiration.
Yeah.
So in general, it's just really good regardless. It does fall a little bit short just because of the fact of the bard's inspiration. Well, no, because then the bard's inspiration would stack with it, so you would have to say that it doesn't stack with inspiration. So, but that would be a lot to keep track of at that point, I think. In a sense of just in your brain, you just go, So if we just make it a flat,
it ultimately. Oh, go on.
I was just gonna say, if we make it just the flat +2, it seems like it would be just a very minimal amount that you get, but also it isn't like that bad.
I would say half your level rounded up.
Half your level rounded. So there would be 1 and 2. Then okay. So the only issue
at 20th level, it's a +10 to hit if you use it.
Yeah, the only issue that I have with it is just rounded up is usually not how it goes. Usually you round down in 5e, right?
Oh yeah,
so
that's true.
So if we just do half your level rounded down, then it still works.
You're stuck at 1 until level 4.
Yeah.
But if we do half your level rounded up, then at level 3 you at least get a +2.
Yeah, it's just I don't know, it just conflicts with everything else that rounds.
Yeah.
So...
And 5e is nothing if not a system of stick with the flow of everything else, despite the fact that this should not be how it works, so as to not rock the boat.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's one of those things where I can see people going, I have to round up in this one instance, whereas everything else I round down, so I have to remember to keep track of this one thing of rounding up instead of rounding down. Honestly, I know it's not.
Maybe that's just not how my brain works. I personally would have no issue.
Oh no, I also that's what I'm saying. I have no issue with it personally as well, but I feel like that would be a complaint that would come out of it. I don't know though. I'm just saying that it could be something that people take issue with for some reason. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where I feel like I don't know. We can have it be rounded up for now, just to make waves, right? So half your level rounded up, and then it gives you the 1d6, 2d6, all that stuff on a bonus action. The domination is also a bonus action, so then you don't get both in one turn. So you have to choose between either. 60, 12, 66. Yeah, so that's still better. Technically.
But no improvement to accuracy.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, because I don't know. I feel like an ape is more precise than a T-Rex.
Well, oh yeah.
You know?
I thought you were gonna say more precise than a snake, and I was like, well,
No.
yeah.
No, I wouldn't say that. No. Yeah, I think that would be fine. Just to fix that up a bit, honestly. Although,
By the way, Alejo, did you have any homebrew that you had snagged from the void of the internet for us to review? Or are we talking about our own homebrew?
I do have one monster that I picked up just to look at if we want to.
Sure. That's fine.
It just depended on, you know, what we wanted to do for direction wise. If we wanted to just keep working on our own kind of stuff, or if we wanted to look at something else as well.
Well,
This actually gives me an
would
idea for a new thing. Actually.
Oh, good. Yeah.
I would say personally,
Mhm.
if I were a listener to a podcast, I would not want to just hear hum hum hum. Well, we could change, like, tweak this, and like we don't need to rebuild the Jungle Warriors.
Yeah,
of
let's not
class.
rebuild
No,
it.
I wasn't thinking.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking that we were going to. Honestly, I was at this point. I think it's good enough at the moment to be more looked at more later.
Yeah.
For like just specifics like names and stuff. I think everything that's major is fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay. Well, let's first take an intermission, and then we can move on to the next thing.
So I need to use the restroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Right.
Welcome back. We are here again. Okay, so let's look at some
So it was
stuff.
a monster, right?
It was a monster, yeah. What were you gonna say, Aiden?
Oh, I was gonna say before we moved on, I had a couple items that I'd made that I was curious what you guys thought would be if there were any balance issues with it or not.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
They are right below the Orb of Weather Divination. There's the Null Magic Nade and Sun Vials.
Yep.
The Null Magic Nade is basically like an anti-magic field, but a consumable. It was initially designed for like witch hunters. But a small white crystal sitting in a bed of fine lilac-colored powder. Throw, and the crystal detonates on impact, shattering the glass and sending the powder flying in an area. The powder is finely ground soul gems, no longer able to absorb souls, but quite effective at absorbing magic. Until the end of the next round, no magic can be cast within a 30-foot radius of the impact zone. 50 gold.
I'd probably bump it up in price, personally.
Yeah, I'm thinking more to like 200.
Yeah.
And if you cast a spell from outside the field and it goes into the field, is the spell nullified once it enters the field?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I think overall everything there is fine. It's like it only lasts a round, so
I don't
too
know if
bad.
it needs to be a 30-foot radius because that's pretty fucking huge.
I did it because the small white crystal is basically meant to be mercury, Hg, Sienna. What? It's not mercury dicyanate. Hold on. Fulminated mercury. There we go.
Okay. Because the only reason why I say that sounds a little bit too big is because when we played that session where you guys where Brogan cast Stinking Cloud, and that was a 20-foot radius, and that's huge.
True. That is true. Yeah, I was wondering if you. So its purpose is to stop people from using magic. So I would say it makes sense to have it be a larger area, but even so, if you use it, if you have any kind of grenade like that, it really is more for at least in my brain, it's more for forcing repositioning. And so if you force the repositioning, then they go out and through it. So like having it be a 30-foot radius is good to, I guess, get that area all clear. But again, like Boo said, yeah, fucking 30 feet is bigger than 20 feet, and the 20 feet that we had to deal with was
enormous. Or I had to deal with. You were fine.
Well, we couldn't go in it either, but
it's true. The other thing is that if you throw the crystal, or if you throw it near a person and it detonates, since it is a thing that explodes and scatters powder over a wider area, if they are in the blast radius, are they coated in powder and then they can't cast spells for a duration afterwards?
I initially was thinking of that as being my how the thing would initially work, but I decided to instead leave it as a static AoE because it's easier for it's easier for the DM to just not have encounters completely shut down on them.
Yeah, I was
Fair
gonna
enough.
say.
Because if you if the lich ever happens to be near 30 feet to a wall or anything, then my spellcaster in a room encounter is ruined.
Yeah.
Oh no!
You're one
my one guy
alone in a room.
alone in a room.
My spellcaster in a hallway.
Yep. So yeah, because definitely it's not gonna prevent magic use, right? Like moving out of the thing is so easy to do, especially if it's centered on the person, right? They just have to move 15 feet. Oh no, it's 30-foot radius, so fuck me. That's a 60-foot diameter.
Yep.
Jesus. Okay. That's way the fuck bigger.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's meant to be bitch move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. I would say if you want this to be something that's in the world that anyone could pick up and use, yeah,
it's a thing you can buy in a shop.
Yeah, I would probably make it a 20-foot radius to 40-foot diameter. Because
I'm also, the more I think about it too, and I hadn't initially thought about this when I was designing it.
Yeah.
But given its own description, if an enemy is on the other side of the bubble, not even standing in it,
yep,
and you're trying to cast a beam or something, it's no.
Yeah, you can't do it. Yeah, it definitely is one of those things that seems it's just more favored for somebody who doesn't use magic at all to make their own fight better, which is good. I like that.
Yeah,
idea.
It makes sense for the witch hunting aspect.
Yeah, absolutely. I enjoy it as it is. It's just that I think I would shrink it down, make it harder, or make it more expensive, because 50 gold is nothing. Very to the average commoner, yes, fucking lots, but to the above
adventurer, that's nothing.
To the adventurers, to anybody, anybody who actually is anyone, that's nothing. I feel.
Yeah, and the thing is too is the average commoner also would never even use this too, because the average commoner's not gonna fight a wizard.
No, of course not. I'm just saying, just to put it into perspective of cost.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not, I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah. So yeah.
My second thing that I did have some reservations about was directly below it, the sun vials.
I can see it.
A small vial filled with a clear, somewhat viscous fluid. Let set in sunlight and it will grow more and more white in color until it becomes milky white. Shake vigorously to let light fill an area. Light works as sunlight for the purpose of undead. Light lasts half as long as it was charged. Let sit 8 hours in sun equals 4 hours sunlight in a cave. Ranges as of a torch. Can be recharged if put out in the sun.
I don't really see much of an issue with it.
So
Pretty nice.
I have to look.
It's an anti-vampire weapon.
I have to
much.
look into daylight, the spell, first off.
Yeah, and what?
Just because
what it does to undead, yeah.
Well, just because if that also counts as like actual daylight, it doesn't. Okay, and this is 100 gold.
Yes.
Oh boy, daylight's a 3rd level spell that doesn't even do that.
Yeah, initially, I don't know why, but my memory was that it was 100 gold and it was one-time use, like those sticks that you snap and shake.
You mean a glow stick?
A glow stick, yes.
Okay.
It was a glow stick that like you have to charge up, but yeah, if it's reusable.
And then
yeah.
I now need to look at sun rods. Because they cost 2 gold. The only difference is they also don't.
They can't be recharged.
They aren't recharged. They last for 6 hours, and they don't do the light thing of it being as daylight,
sunlight. Yeah,
like actual sunlight.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's 100 gold. Sunlight for the person to last half as long as one's charged. Man, like the only thing that's really given me reservations is just the daylight aspect being so powerful for 100 gold. And like,
so now, why is having it work as sunlight such a big deal?
It's just like,
I'm just curious.
Well, I don't know. I'm trying to work through it at the same time because it's just the initial like visceral reaction for me of like, it's 100 gold. You get the sunlight thing. If this is very accessible, right? If you think about it, 100 gold is incredibly accessible. So vampires,
yeah, but it also doesn't have the effect that daylight does, which is to block out or to negate darkness spells.
That's
the only extra thing that it has is it's a rechargeable sun rod that also can affect vampires.
Yeah, so my question is, I guess, for your world of vampires, how damaging is sunlight?
Depends on the vampire. Some vampires are noxophilic, which is they're a little stronger than a human in daylight, and at nighttime they're super strong. Some are dissolved to ash. Some just have an aversion to it.
So then I would say, how the process of becoming a vampire, do you start from the bottom as being one of the dissolved and then you go up, basically?
So is a stronger vampire.
There is a lot of species that it really depends on where you are in the area of the world. However, I as a DM would of course be more likely to throw like a blood fiend, which is pretty much a crazed person with a little extra strength at a low level party, and a noxophilic vampire at like a high level party.
Oh no, what he's saying is if you've just become a vampire, and you're a weak vampire, are you going to dissolve? Or are you just going to have an aversion to it?
It depends on your species.
Gotcha.
Okay. Yeah, so there's many factors then, because I was thinking traditional vampire, like
where it just fucks them up.
Well, yeah, it either does a shit ton of damage or it just fucks them up entirely. And in that case, I would be like, well, 100 gold, like why everyone could just do that a lot all the time, right? Because it's so accessible. 100 gold.
Now, the other thing is, you could always have something where if these things are so common, you could always have vampires like thralls go out and like learn about them and tell the vampires like, oh, they have these things. It's like, okay, well, you could have most of your vampires have like magic missile, or have a thrall that has magic missile and be like, shoot the sun vial with the magic missile.
Yeah, it's true.
Or cast darkness.
Yes.
Yeah, that
because
as
it doesn't
well.
work as daylight.
It doesn't work
works
as daylight. It's true. So yeah, they could just cast darkness on themselves, I guess. I don't remember. Do they just have that inherently? I forget.
I think they do.
It's been a while since I looked at
Most
vampires.
most vampires, at least in my world, are pretty inherently magical, and
Yeah,
they're
that's
like,
fair.
wow, the sun sucks, brightness sucks, dark.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
They're like Boris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's the sun? Lasts half as long as it was charged. Wait, what? Hold on.
Yes. That,
So if you
that
charge it for
way
1
you
hour,
can't
it lasts.
It's also meant so that you can use them somewhat as timers, and also for the fact that you can't just have a one and done and be like, okay, I charged it during the day, we're going to go adventuring for 8 hours and we will be set.
Mm.
Like, you're going to need to buy at least 2 if you want to cover the
The
8
same amount
hours
of
that it
ground.
takes to rest.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Well,
So
for a long rest.
Okay, I get it now. Okay, so it's out in the sun for 8 hours to charge, and then it lasts 4 hours.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's fine.
Yeah, I think so as well.
I feel like torches give out in a 30-foot, right?
I think it's 20.
Okay.
I'll check real quick.
Yeah. Because I was gonna say, like, I feel like it should be just a tad bit more than
If it's
20 feet.
Yeah, 20 feet is torch.
Yeah.
Sunlight.
Because, like, I figure since you're charging it with sunlight and you're
Mhm.
basically transporting sunlight in there,
Yeah.
maybe it should be a tad bit further, but I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of that purely as a player.
Right. Yeah, and I don't know of other things in Elder Scrolls that are like they don't like the sun so much.
Yeah, it's in Elder Scrolls. It's pretty much just vampires.
Yeah, and
As
I
far as I can
imagine
remember,
using
anyway.
some of the things like the shadow and all that kind of stuff for actual D&D monsters, then those things wouldn't like it.
Or a shadow demon.
Or a shadow demon.
Yes.
Yeah. So
some sorts of ghosts also
yeah.
can't use attacks or anything in light.
Yeah.
But that's just, I think, light in general.
Yeah, it might be, yeah. So yeah, I think it's fine just because my initial thought was again, regular vampire stuff and not knowing how they work in your thing. So but yeah, I think it's okay. I'm not seeing anything that would be too devastating because of it. I don't think.
What about a pearl of tiny hut that costs 10 gold? It's consumed on use.
Isn't Tiny Hut like a 4th level spell?
Yeah, Lehman's tiny hut is real fucking good. 10 gold?
Let's see.
10 gold?
But
Tiny. That's level 3 spell.
actually,
Level 3, yeah. Yeah, 10 gold for... Okay, so...
yeah,
lasts...
even a scroll would cost more.
Yeah, 10 gold is way too little. I'd say at least 1,000. Like, legitimately.
Is it something you can use over and over again, or no?
No,
it's consumed upon use.
It's one time.
Okay.
I mean,
You also can't use it to learn the spell like a wizard could.
Right.
Yeah, because it's just a pearl that's enchanted.
I mean, it's incredibly useful in every situation. Maybe not 1,000, but definitely
Oh,
higher.
never. Yeah, even never mind. I'm just looking at the price of a pearl now because for some reason, I guess I never did.
Oh.
A typical pearl has a base value of 100 gold to 500 gold.
Yeah.
Man, that's a good fucking deal. I'll take like a bunch of them.
I'll sell them as regular pearls.
Yeah, exactly. Like it. Yeah. That it's just like that's so little for something so powerful. Like think of the potential of that. It is literally impenetrable to anything.
Yep, and it lasts for 8 hours.
You can use
8
it in
hours.
combat.
Yeah.
Dude, man, you know what would be great, actually?
Yeah. Go on.
Oh, I just thought of something that would be really neat. Have like a... Oh, that would be super cool. Imagine if... Okay. Picture this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Underwater city. Underwater city.
Okay.
That has like iron rods or stuff on the ground that's enchanted with tiny hut, and they've made like dome roads on the seafloor and through like coral reefs and shit.
Yeah, it'd be super cool.
And they have like one that's a giant one that's like for the whole city, dude.
Yeah, it'd be super cool. So yeah, definitely like with it being something that so Tiny Hut takes 10 minutes to cast as far as I remember.
Yep.
Yes.
This is a fucking ninja smoke bomb trick.
Way too powerful for 10 gold. That's why I'm saying like at least 1,000 just for an instant use, because it seems to be because you have nothing else there for when
you just huck it down.
It was initially meant to be that like you throw it on the ground and the pearl snaps, and the Leomund's tiny hut kind of blooms out of it over the course of 10 minutes.
Okay. Well, yeah,
but
then definitely.
Yeah, okay, then that's fine. It's 10. 10's fine.
No, no, still no. I don't think so. It's so powerful just for what it is.
Yeah, you're right. The last one I have, I'm actually fairly happy with. It's the Alchemist's Lamp. Costs 35 gold, which compare it to Alchemist's Fire, I believe is 50.
50, yep.
D&D 50. Yeah, I'll just trust you on 50.
I have it right here.
A small round flask with a bulbed bottom and a metal screwed on topper. A coiled metal wire dips down from the topper and into the clear orange liquid at the bottom. Shake it violently to create a 5-minute light. Can also be thrown to coat a creature in light. The bulbous vial creates a fair amount of heat the longer it is on. While painful to hold directly, it causes no damage.
So it's a big fuck off light bulb. Literally.
Yeah, it's a light bulb.
Yeah,
it's literally it is the size of an incandescent light bulb with a bit of orange Gatorade at the bottom.
Sure. Nice. Yeah. And dude, I love being able to throw it and coat a bitch in luminescent fluid. That's cool.
I assume they get a reflex or something.
No.
Oh yeah.
No. Yeah. Never.
It's like fairy fire basically.
Yeah.
But just you could do the same with an alchemist's flask, because then they're invisible but on fire.
Yeah. Let me just look at a couple of things here. Yeah. Okay. So the only thing that I would need is just like range of light, right?
Yeah.
Because if it's is it reusable as well?
No.
Okay.
Like if you throw it to coat it, it probably shatters open and the splash.
Well, no, I just mean
also,
in general.
Also, if you just shake it, the way that I initially had it was the copper wire dips down into the liquid, and as the liquid is agitated, it undergoes a reaction with that copper wire. And then you keep using it, and then at the end of the 5 minutes, the filament is worn through and breaks.
So,
and it's the same thing as like when a light bulb like dies at the end of its thing, where it's like a quick flash of light, and then it's just dead.
Right. Okay. So yeah, if
then initially the liquid is also supposed to turn black. I don't know why I don't have it here.
Oh well. So I guess. You would also probably want to put range for it, because that's important, because you can't just huck it like 100 feet and hope to hit somebody, right? I mean, with disadvantage maybe, but no, like yeah, right. Like even with Alchemist Fire, it's like a 20-foot range, and So you
Yeah,
definitely want
it's meant to be alchemist's fire, but a torch.
Yeah. Okay. So just this is the other thing of it is it it doesn't do damage. It does light something up, so you could potentially hit an invisible creature with it, right? But then you have disadvantage to try to hit the invisible creature, so it's very unlikely that you will hit it.
Yeah.
It is like what 7 times as much as a lantern, a hooded lantern. Torch. How much is torch? Torch is a copper. Okay. And it only lasts 5 minutes as well.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just like trying to figure out like cost versus use time versus the other
You can use it underwater too, and you don't need to strike a light.
Okay, so that needs to definitely be there as well then.
Well, I figured that would be obvious given that it is a closed flask that you're just shaking liquid.
So flasks underwater, yes, I guess so. It's one of those things where I would think is like my initial question would be like, is it sealed properly? Can it work underwater? Right? Like,
I mean, alchemist's flask is described as a flask, and it says in contact with air, the liquid explodes. So there's precedent set for that item to be a flask is properly sealed.
That's fair enough. I guess I don't remember Alchemist Fire's entire description, you know? So I don't know. It's one of those things where, yes, the precedent is there, but it would still benefit, like, just without question, just to benefit having it just be stated, right? Because it's definitely not going to detract, right? It's just making sure that it's known.
There's my source.
Yeah, I have it right here.
Roll 20.
I have it right here in my book. Don't worry about that.
Alright.
But the other thing, I think I'm okay with price. I think I'm okay with everything else. I think. I don't see any reason for it to be any more or less. Just a little bit more clarification on just the description itself. That's about it.
Fair enough.
Yep. I see you have put thoughts and prayers in there too.
Yep. I just remembered that was homebrew.
Yeah. And it was given to what, a level 1 character or something? I don't remember.
Oh, they were level 3.
Oh, okay. Only.
Still broke the game.
Yeah, still incredibly broken. If you want to know, out there, lovely people, here, I'll show you thoughts and prayers real quick. Pause the thing to read through it. We're not gonna go over this one. It's not something you give a level 3 character. Like, that's not how this works.
What's wrong with having Wall of Light 3 charges, Guiding Bolt 2 charges, Prayers regains 1d4 plus 2 expended charges daily, or regenerating 1d4 HP at the start of each turn? Whenever you succeed on a melee attack using prayers, it deals 2d6 radiant damage.
It's so
what the fuck?
I just no.
That's a fucking legendary item.
Yeah, it's literally called a rare weapon. Like, come on.
Jesus.
When used together, the damage dice used when calculating psychic radiant damage as a result of a melee attack becomes 4d6.
Yeah, it's
additionally each weapon gains plus 2 to its maximum charges, and you make 1 extra attack each time you take the attack action on your turn.
Yeah. Oh, amazing!
Oh
I get just an additional attack at level 3. Yeah. Okay. No, fuck off! Don't give that to a level 3 person. That's
Christ.
Horrible. Nothing.
Remember when we made the Astral Sorcerer and we tried to make it as balanced as
Well,
possible?
so this is the thing. This is a rare thing. It's not meant for somebody at level 3. This is just how it is, and I'm fine with it how it is as far as I've seen.
Yeah,
right?
fair, I suppose.
But like, not
not a level.
Not
3.
on a level 3 character. No, you give this to somebody who's like level 10, maybe. Right?
I would honestly say 14 or 15.
Sure. Honestly, the later the better at this point. Like, looking at it, it's fucking ridiculous.
Maybe 16.
Not level 3. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, I have one last little boy to look at, and his art.
The monster.
His art is super fucking sick. So,
Share
there
it
you
with
go,
us,
boys.
Oh.
Hell, damn. Skullbearer?
Yeah,
That's a fucking
Dark
Souls enemy.
Souls.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, dude,
Look
right?
at that thing. It's fucking rad. This was the first.
Challenge rating 4. Okay.
Yeah, this was the first thing on there that I saw, and I was like, fucking, I need to look at this in depth with the boys. It looks fucking rad. So this was on Reddit. It is from r/Unearthed Arcana. People post a lot of stuff on there all the time. This was made by
Oleg Bulak.
Yeah, no,
Or
that's
art-
the
art
art.
by
Yeah,
Monkey DM.
it was posted by. Yeah, it's probably their thing is Monkey DM. Posted by depressed_monkey3. So.
Dude, Soul Tear.
So yeah,
Circle of Hell.
Let's get into it a little bit here. This is the Umbral Skullbearer. Large undead, neutral, of course. Armor class 14 from natural armor. Hit points 59, 70, 10 plus 21. Speed is 25 feet, so it's a slow boy. 15 strength, 11 dex, 16 con, 6 intelligence, 13 wisdom, 6 charisma. Got a +5 to its saving throw for con because it's an undead, I assume. Resistance to fire, necrotic, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks that aren't silvered.
Okay, so that's my first complaint.
Mm-hmm.
Those weapons are, depending on your DM, those weapons can be either rare or very pricey. To have a silvered magical weapon,
yeah,
that's
However,
well, so it doesn't need to be magical. It just needs to be silvered first.
No,
off.
it says non-magical attacks that aren't silvered.
Yes, exactly. So if it's a non-magical attack from a silvered weapon, it passes through it. You're good.
Okay, so when I read that, I thought it meant it needed to be a magic weapon that is also silver.
No,
okay.
Either or.
Gotcha.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the same rules for ghosts.
And also
and
werewolves.
And werewolves.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah. Because that's what I always thought that meant. I thought it meant that you needed a silvered magic weapon.
Right, yeah, no.
Okay.
So that's honestly, and I think even in standard raw rules, it is every time I say raw rules, I think Beastmen Raru.
So rules as written rules?
Yes, raw. Yeah, exactly. Right. Raw. From the book is 100, I think, additional to silver a weapon. I'm not sure.
If the place you're buying it from can even do it.
Right, and I assume that in this case, if you're gonna throw this at your players, you've prepped them. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up about that. I made it so you still were able to do damage, and you had a magic user, and you had everything.
Who ran away?
Yeah, you had everything you needed. Okay.
I know.
And I ignored the silver shit. So anyway.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Hey, I gave you all the tools. Fuck off. It's not my fault that fucking
You didn't give us a spellcaster.
I did. No, you're right. I didn't, but he was there.
Oh man.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So he can't be blinded. Has blind sight 120 feet, which is huge.
That's huge.
Huge.
But I mean, that's usually how big blind sight is. It's like 60 or 60
I don't
or
know,
120,
man.
isn't it?
No, usually it's 30 or 60.
I thought it was 30 to 60, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Passive perception is 11. Understands infernal. Apparently can't speak it. Challenge rating 4. Limited telepathy. Can magically transmit simple messages and images to any creature within 120 feet of it that can understand a language. A language, not just infernal.
And,
okay.
Yeah,
This
so
form of telepathy doesn't allow the receiving creature to telepathically respond, so it can just make people scared, I guess.
Yeah, it can just show you creepy shit.
Show you shit. Snuff out the light. The Umbrella Skullbearer can detect any healing spells being cast within 300 feet of it. If a healing spell is cast on a turn in that radius, the Umbral Skullbearer gains advantage on the attack rolls against the caster for 1 minute.
300 feet is way too big.
I mean...
Well...
Okay.
See, the thing is, for me, 120 feet, that is...
massive.
It is big, however, longbows are still bigger than that.
That is true.
So they can still pepper it before it even sees them.
Yeah,
See, now here's my problem, though. When I look at this thing, I'm imagining it down in some kind of a dungeon or a tomb or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're not going to find many chambers in a dungeon that are 300 feet long.
Counterpoint could just be made of you could, though.
Yeah,
right?
You could, but I mean,
if you design the fight around this thing,
it's true,
right?
It's true.
Like, I understand what you're saying, and I would say yes. Realistically, you wouldn't find things that are 300 feet, 120 feet big. Well, for underground stuff, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Tomb. Yeah.
Now, if you found it in like the fucking mines of Moria,
sure,
then it's a different story.
Yeah.
Or like the Lonely Mountain or something.
Sure.
But and like the other thing is, because you're going to be fighting it in a dungeon, and generally, again, not always, but generally, dungeons are corridors and somewhat large caves where you're having occasional encounters and resting and doing shit. So that means that if you're in this dungeon, you cast a single healing spell, this thing is coming running from the deepest depths of the fucking cave to come kill you. That's my problem with it.
Which is kind of cool, honestly.
That's what's cool, though.
Yeah.
It does the same thing as Hungers do.
Yeah.
Hungers do that?
So, yeah, it does do the same thing as Hungers. The Hunger... if you do that, I can find it specifically, but they do get advantage for their next I think their whole turn, if I remember.
You know what I would do, actually? Given that it seems to be implanting skulls in like the spongy flesh of its back, I would give it a fucking ridiculous AC, right? Like 28. And so long as they roll above a 14, I go, okay, and I roll 1d4, and then based on the amount that I roll on that 1d4 is how many skulls they break, and then that affects like its AC lowering down to a minimum of 14.
So then I would say
like
put down its
you're
health
gonna
a little
spend
bit
a few
just to compensate.
If you're gonna keep the same CR, sure, but I'm thinking of throwing this at my party.
Oh, okay, yeah. If you make it a higher CR, then yeah, definitely. So actually, the Hungry, excuse me, has if the creature the Hungry can see regains hit points. It gains the attack advantage on attack rolls and then the extra damage to its bite. But that's if it can see it. So it's not.
And so this is 300 feet of it no matter where it is. And we've already established that a 20-foot radius is fucking enormous for most combat.
It is true, and you could count out the squares for 300 feet. But the thing is, like, I honestly think that that's fine if it knows, but maybe take the blind sight down to 60, honestly. Like, I don't know. It is both time.
But I mean, there's no point of having the blind sight be shorter if it can detect any healing spells being cast, because
it detects it. It's a ping on the map. That doesn't mean, like, if the party casts a healing spell and then moves on, it's alerted and knows of their presence and is active and is going to be prowling and stalking through the dungeon.
Yeah.
Okay,
exactly.
so if it's
feel another ping and it's going to go, oh, they're over there now.
Yes.
Okay, so if it's more like that,
Yeah.
if it's more like that, then it's fine. But the way I'm imagining it is the party wanders into a dungeon, they get into the first fight, and someone takes a big hit from like an unlucky crit or something. They heal, and then you have like 6 of these things barreling through the dungeon about to fucking stomp them.
Well, if you have 6
and
of
again,
them,
I know that you wouldn't balance it that way, but
well, so if you had 6 of them, then you would have a challenge rating of 24. Right, and then they would be high enough to deal with it and all that. Like, I feel like this is, it's fine to have it come early so that they're like going through and then it's like, oh fuck, now it's here, right? And that's only if you do healing spells on them, and I mean, it depends on the party if they're gonna use them or not.
Yeah, and I suppose you could always do potions if you don't even
exactly.
have a magical healer.
Exactly. So, the only thing that I hesitate for is the advantage, just because I don't know what it can do yet for attacks, which I would like to get into now.
Yes.
Multi-attack. So the Umbral Skullbearer makes 2 melee attacks with 2 with its claws and 1 with its soul tear. It can use Skull Throw in place of any melee attack. So that's 3. First off. So it does 3 attacks.
Oh yeah, so it's 3. Yeah, 2 melee attacks. 2. Oh well, yeah. What the hell? Okay.
Yeah, that's a little weird there. I guess. Yeah. No, that's 3 attacks. I'm looking at them now, melee and melee. So that's 3 attacks, not 2. Okay. So
anyway,
that's,
so it can make 3 melee attacks.
Yep. So claw, melee weapon attack, +4 to hit, reach 5 feet, 1 target, does 9 or 2d6 plus 2 slashing damage and 7 2d6 necrotic damage. And the target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw, DC 11, which is really easy, or be frightened by the Umbral Skullbearer for 1 minute. An affected creature can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns. Yeah, okay.
So standard stuff.
Also, each of its turns.
No turn. Yeah.
Anyway. Sorry, I'm noticing them now. Skull Throw. Ranged weapon attack, +4 to hit. Range 60, 90 feet. 1 target, hit 9, 2d6 plus 2 bludgeoning damage, and 10, 3d6 necrotic damage. On a hit, the Umbral Skullbearer teleports in a space adjacent to the target within 5 feet of it.
Okay. If you're gonna have it teleport, I would say.
It's a CC.
Yeah.
Or not CC. Gap close.
Gap closer.
Yeah,
Yep.
I would say you nerf the necrotic damage because that's a little bit strong.
Yeah, I would honestly keep it at the 2d6 that we've already established.
The 2d6 bludgeoning because of the utility.
And that too, yeah.
Because I mean the thing,
because like
when it says 1 target. Does that mean it can target, like, it doesn't say 1 creature or anything like that?
That means, just a creature, I assume.
Okay, so it couldn't target, like, a thing off in the distance and just huck a skull and teleport over to it.
Yeah, I would even say with blind sight, it wouldn't see things that don't move.
True.
I think. I don't know how blind sight is flavored.
No, you still see things.
I guess. Yeah, I guess you also see the. It's like Toph, right? Reverberation.
Didn't you see Daredevil?
Yeah, it's also Daredevil. Everything vibrates.
There is nothing in the rules saying that it can't do that, though.
Yeah, that is true. But I don't know why it would, right? Because this thing has the.
I'm just saying for utility.
Yeah, I'm just saying it has this intelligence of 6, and it seems to be an undead creature, and those things usually just hunger and go. They don't usually go away unless they have an intelligence of 8 or more, I would say. But I don't know. Soul Tear. Melee weapon attack, +4 to hit, reach 5 feet, 1 target, hit 7, 2d4 plus 2 piercing damage, and the target must succeed a Constitution saving throw, DC 11, very easy, or take 13 3d8 necrotic damage and have their hit point maximum reduced by that amount. Ooh. Creatures that are frightened of the Umbral Skull... Yes, creatures that are frightened of the Umbral Skullbearer have disadvantage on the save. Fair enough. If this effect reduces a creature's hit points maximum to 0, the creature dies. This reduction to the creature's hit point maximum lasts until the creature finishes a long rest or is, until it is affected by a spell like Greater Restoration. A creature killed by this ability cannot be resurrected until the Umbral Skullbearer who ate the soul is slain.
Oh, so it eats souls.
Okay, so it eats souls, apparently. But yes, okay, fair enough, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that seems fine to me.
It's its big scary thing. Yeah.
Circle of Hell.
So.
Oh, yep.
So I was gonna say, so its basic combat rotation, so to speak, is skull throw.
Yep.
Like somewhere around in combat, I would assume it's gonna be more or less like teleporting around in the group of the party and rotating around its targets to skull throw the person, teleport up to them, claw them, and then soul tear.
Yep.
To ensure that they have disadvantage.
This is the thing. I assume that he means that it can only make 2 melee attacks because, like, that's a lot. 3 at CR4?
2 with its claw and 1 with its soul tear.
Although
it can use skull throw in place of any melee attack,
which is all 3 of them technically.
Yeah, so why not just say it can make 3 attacks?
And this is why I assume that he does actually mean 2 because he's saying it could be 2 with its claws or 1 with its claw and 1 with its soul tear. I would assume because 3 attacks for 4 CR creature? That's a lot.
Yeah,
that's
a lot.
Quite a lot, actually, I think. I don't remember any CR4 creatures having 3 attacks. That seems like a little much.
Well, also, bear in mind, it also has a relatively low AC and hit point pool for a level 4 party. And is slow.
I guess so.
Its speed doesn't really matter if it can teleport.
Its speed doesn't matter if it can teleport 90 feet if it can hit a disadvantage.
Yo, I just realized what this reminds me of.
Huh.
The guy who played this, I think, plays Gears of War because, oh my god, it looks like the Locust.
Yeah.
Oh, a little bit.
That's very
true. Circle of Hell. Flames come pouring down from the skulls on the Umbral Skullbearer's back. All creatures within a 40-foot radius of the Umbral Skullbearer, but not within 10 feet of it, must succeed on a dexterity saving throw DC 11 or take 5d6 fire damage or half as much on a success. Jesus Christ.
This thing's a little...
So it's a little attack forward.
Little big damage-wise.
I would also say, like, this is MMO mechanics.
Yeah, it really is.
Oh, yeah. You can be close to it, but not... Yeah, it's...
So if you try to... 40 feet, by the way? That's insane.
That's going to be most of the party, I would say. Like, 40-foot radius.
Like, every time.
Like...
This also seems the type of monster that you would want to spread out for.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like, then you punish them for it?
It can teleport.
Yeah.
From one person to another, but it can never...
It's never in a bad position.
Well, this is the thing. It can just keep teleporting because it can just use the skull throw in place of any melee attack.
Yeah, well, it can keep teleporting, but you're also going to get peppered, and it also has no reliable health drain, a low AC. I could see a party that is magic heavy, in terms of sorcerers and like a couple of rangers, being able to take this down. The only problem is a barbarian or a fighter or a paladin or something is...
Well, we're losing him.
We're losing him. He was making good points, too.
Yeah, he was. So it was 2 casters, like 2 sorcerers, 2 rangers, but then the problem would be the melee fighters.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, obviously, if any melee fighters attack this thing, they're probably fine. Just considering the fact that, like, if you are a because these are all bludgeoning, slashing, and then necrotic on it. Okay, so the necrotic stuff would be for most barbarians the thing that they're like except for
quick
oh, there you
question.
are. Hey.
Where did I cut out?
You were talking about how
the party basically
two sorcerers, 2 rangers, and then the fighter would.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So a fighter or a paladin or barbarian would have trouble with like taking it out, I think.
Yeah.
It also doesn't have a damage vulnerability to radiant for some reason.
Yeah.
Well, remember, 5e doesn't have that for like
It's
any
whole
undead.
thing seems to be. Yeah, but its whole thing is eating souls, and it has an ability literally called Circle of Hell.
Oh no, I agree. I feel like it should. I'm just saying. I think they're just not rocking the boat with the fact that nothing really has vulnerability to radiant damage.
Well, this is basically like the opposite of a bone claw.
Yeah, pretty much.
Whereas a bone claw picks a target, reels it in, and teleports away with it, this picks a target, moves all up in its face, and starts.
I feel like there should be some sort of a cooldown on the teleport. Or something. Because, like...
I don't know.
I realize that its intelligence is low.
Yeah.
But I just can't shake the feeling, the idea, and the image of the party spreading out and doing, like, its intelligent combat, and then this thing just hucking a skull at the caster, where it's, like, completely alone, and then fucking him up. And then while everybody else is far away from it, the fighter's trying to get in there to save the mage. He just does Circle of Hell and torches everybody.
Well, so obviously the what it would do, like in my mind at least, is it would definitely always soul tear somebody.
Yeah,
always.
That's what it would do on the mage.
Yeah.
So it would huck the skull,
then the mage would die.
Yeah,
instantly.
It'd be real bad.
Like,
is it a con save? It is a con save.
Yeah, it's a con
save.
save.
No, that wizard's dead.
Yeah, like the wizard, the sorcerer, like those, because I would honestly say that it has enough intelligence to not go after the person who heals, because the person who heals is giving it the advantage, right? Like, considering it gets that just from feeling it, basically.
How does it get advantage?
Gains advantage on attack rolls against the caster against the caster.
Against the caster of whoever casts the healing spells.
So maybe it does hate healing, so then it would
so
go
it
after
might
them.
Just blitz the healer, I guess?
Yeah, that makes more sense then. Okay, so it would go after the healer first, and then tear its soul out and murder it instantly.
Yeah.
I mean, well, maybe
the paladins would make it. If they're the healer.
Yeah, if the paladin does it, then the paladin would be fine. And even a cleric would be probably okay. But if you got a
cleric would be totally
cleric
fine.
Is actually what I was thinking, the thing that'd be fine with it.
Yeah.
Clerics typically have such high AC anyway.
Yeah. And then if you're relying on a celestial sorcerer.
Yeah.
Oops.
Then you done fucked up. At least in terms of this fight.
Yeah.
So I did cut out again. Did you hear the thing about the bone claw?
A bit of it.
How he reels it in and this guy jumps to everybody?
Yeah. So I was saying I would also like to see a bone claw with like a couple of these like on like chained leashes or something.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, this seems this seems more like a thing that you throw out with stuff.
Yeah.
But on its own, it is definitely a fight for
it's definitely a fight.
Fourth level party. Yeah, it's definitely memorable. I would have to see it in play because it's a little hard to judge exactly how much this thing does, especially, and I would have to ask the person, do you mean that it can have 3 attacks or 2?
Yeah, that's kind of a big, that's rather
it's,
serious typo.
If it's 3, right, I imagine it hucks its thing to the person, it uses the soul tear and kills the mage instantly, and it hucks its thing to the next person and gets there, right?
Yeah.
Like a demented monkey.
Yeah, and it's fucking like,
It's moving.
It's moving, dude.
It doesn't matter what move speed it has if it can teleport whenever it wants.
It could work actually if everyone is grouped up on top of each other.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. Yeah, that would, well,
because that basically gives you just about immunity to Circle of Hell.
Yep.
If you're surrounding it.
Yep.
It also means that since it's 10 feet, you have 2 spaces next to it that people can stand to.
It's true.
In all directions.
And it is a large creature anyway, so.
It is a large creature. You basically neuter its skull throw because it doesn't matter if it teleports, because it's
now if you're encircling it, it could hit you and teleport outside the circle because it just has to.
Yeah, it can reduce flanking bonuses, which will piss off the rogue. But I'm talking about in terms of using skull throw as a method of damage mitigation. It's basically not going to do too much except for flanking, which is good, but it's not as good as swinging around on chandeliers, pegging people on the forehead, killing them, throwing the skull at the next one.
And even so, it is a ranged attack, so if you surround it, it does have disadvantage.
So now let me ask you this. The frightened condition. What that do in 5e?
You cannot in 5e it sucks. You cannot willingly approach it.
Yep. Well, you also get disadvantage on attack rolls when you can see it.
Okay.
Hold on, let me.
Because that could have been another option where it just does multi-attack 3 claws and just tries to frighten everybody around it.
Yeah. It definitely could.
In which case, it's then just a scarecrow.
Yeah.
Well, the frightened condition. Actually, wait, no. Scarecrows use a glare attack. Which, fun fact, actually, scarecrows are unique in the fact that whereas most creatures that have a fear effect, if you pass the fear effect, you're immune to it for like 24 hours. So like banshees, most ghosts, and stuff like that.
Mummies as well.
Scarecrows do not have that limitation.
Nope.
So you can get like 5 or 10 scarecrows and just have a firing line.
Yep, it's really cool.
And then what you do is you just have them encircle one PC and just scare.
Oh yeah.
That's exactly how I used them.
Yeah, as you should.
Asshole.
It makes total sense.
No, the party hated it, and they're like, "I cannot wait till we're in town." And I'm like, "Good, the outside is scary."
The world.
Why do you think people live in towns?
The world is dark and full of terrors.
Frightened. A frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of its fear is within line of sight. The creature can't willingly move closer to the source of its fear. So what it could do is it could use Skull Throw to like get the party afraid and then like teleport slightly out of range and then nail them all with Circle of Hell. And basically keep them sort of CC'd and kind of like herd sheep kind of.
Yeah.
Especially if you had 2 of these suckers.
I would imagine, right? Like, I know it would make it even harder to fight, but I would imagine Solitaire would give it some, like, health back.
Healing.
Yeah,
right?
It's like a Devourer does.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it seems like it's weird that it doesn't, but, I mean, it's already
it also hates healing.
It's also what?
It also hates healing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't know.
So it is also literally eating their souls, which is, I believe, what Devourers do.
Probably.
I think so, yeah.
The Devourer creates a vortex of life-draining energy in a 20-foot radius centered around itself.
Oh.
Each humanoid in that area must make a DC 18 con saving throw, taking 8d10 necrotic damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful. Increase the damage by 10 for each living humanoid within 0 hit points in the area.
God damn. So now the thing that I imagine, because you, Aiden, you had your turn with the Bone Claw having these guys on leashes. The thing that I see is these guys are prowling a big fuck off tomb. And they
like
maybe
cracking into tombs and stuff to find skulls.
No, actually, it's a little bit more fucked up, I think. There's this big tomb, and people get like tricked into going there, like just regular people, not adventurers. They go in there. The Umbral Skullbearer gets in there, and he tears their soul out and eats it. And then they get once they've eaten enough souls and shit, they get called into the deepest chamber where there's a lich in there, and he strings them up by their wrists and guts them and pulls all the souls out and stuffs them in their fucking phylactery. That would be really cool.
Yeah, like I see these things as more just guard dogs, really, for whatever.
Yeah, that's how I intend on using them. I'm gonna make a dungeon that Malnox has, wherein like he's doing a bit more research, and this is like his newest thing, and he's gonna have like 4 or 5 of them prowling the premises.
Yeah,
nice.
And I'm gonna like sort of do the Resident Evil 2 thing, where you know how they like lead up to liquors.
Yep.
Ooh.
They'll like go into the barracks first, and as they're searching that, they'll find a journal of someone saying like, those huge skull things make me really uneasy every time I walk by, but I feel them watching me.
Yep. Even though they can't see.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then like later on they'll find like the remains of like half a crushed skull with some blood or something.
Yeah, or maybe one that's like charred from like Circle of Hell. Like the eye sockets are charred.
Yeah, like I think it's overall really cool, and I feel like, again, I would need to see it in play just to see how it interacts with different kinds of parties, because I think, I don't know, the 5d6 fire is a little much in my opinion, but again, I can't really, I mean, at 4th level, let's see.
Truth be told, that 5d6 fire is the same level of damage I would throw against my 6th level party that is jacked as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's fair, I guess. It's just, like, I don't know, 4th level is, what? If you take averages, the
16 if you're, like, a sorcerer.
Exactly, or, what is for
24 if you're a barbarian.
Yeah, like, and then the average of the d6s is,
4.
20 total for 5d. So you are potentially killing a lot of the party outright.
Yeah. You gotta really, really be careful when you use Circle of Hell.
The thing that doesn't make it so bad is because it's a DC 11. Very easy to get past. So
I would make the radius smaller. The radius is too fucking
smaller.
huge.
Yeah, the radius feels too big.
Way too big.
I would also make it less that like flames swirl around it, and more like infernal lava drips off it and splashes everything in a 10-foot range.
Yeah.
Okay,
or
so
maybe 15.
You'd completely take away it being 40 and have it just be within 10 feet of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's your fuck you don't melee me.
Yeah, I would say 10 feet is fine, and I would also say, honestly, you see how all the candles and stuff are on the skulls? I would say they like, each of the skulls, like, their eyes light up, and the fire kind of flows out and, like, up, out, and down, right?
Yeah.
In a 10-foot radius.
Okay, yeah.
Because it would be more of it using its own souls that it's collected to fuel the fire, like have it be kind of a bluish or a greenish or something, you know.
I would keep Circle of Hell as it is, but I would potentially consider making it be a charge up attack. It has to spend a round charging and like summoning the fire around its back.
Okay.
And it affects everything. There's none of that like 10-foot safety zone. And it's sort of like a Teostra nuke, where it starts bristling and charging up, and you see flames start to vortex around it.
Sure, yeah.
And it's a stupid check. If you're gonna say, well, I'm gonna take this opportunity to walk right in and hit it, then like you deserve to die.
I mean, I wouldn't say that. I would say, I mean, you always are going to take at least half. Right, because it is literally, you can't not take half unless you have
evasion.
But at level 4, you don't. I think that's.
I would be totally fine with the charging, but I still think that a 40-foot is still too big. I think if you want to have the charging and you don't want to change any of the damage or the DC, make it a 30, and then that's totally fine.
So I would say to give them the time, if they're in there, if you're like a rogue, right, and you're in there, you would. So you're basically going to punish them the first time.
Yes.
You are legitimately unable to like, unless they think about it and they go, okay, that means something's bad's coming, I'm gonna get out of here. You will be punishing them regardless. So I feel like everybody would be somewhere in the radius at some point just to take that first initial hit. And if they all succeed, they all take average 10, right? Average 10 damage, just half of the 20. So so you get 10 damage off on the entire party. The sorcerer then goes wow, and then stays the fuck back, right? And then then it uses its skull throw. Like there's this. I think that's why they put the 10-foot thing, so that you could have people not go all the way back, right? And secondly, the having it be 30 feet out, a move action is 30 feet, unless you dash or you're a rogue and you have your bonus action to dash, or you do some sort of spell to make yourself more so, you're not going to get out of that in one round.
Yeah, that's why I think the 40 is a little bit too big.
Yeah, and that's why I'm even saying make it not 30, make it less a little bit. Make it the 10, just the 10 feet around it, so that you punish those who are in there in melee the first time, where the rogue is going to definitely succeed on his DC like 11 check.
He'll be fine.
Probably. And then he goes, and then he thinks about it and goes, I don't want to be there when it does it again, probably, so I'll keep a lookout for it. But your paladin, your fighter, your barbarian, they're all going to be in there going, that was nothing. I could literally just heal myself and I'm fine. So...
And then that's when he soul tears and claws.
And then, exactly. Then you punish them for just being there because... Claw, soul tear, haha, you now have less health, and it's now more dangerous for you, right?
Do you think its two attacks are, its two melee attacks are, it has the option of doing two melee attacks with its claw and it attacks in, I guess, two stages. The first stage is two claws, and then the second attack is soul tear.
No.
Okay. I'm still trying to...
I honestly think it's just the mistake of either they forgot to do 3 or they have fucked up and said 2 and then made it worded that it also gets the soul tear.
Yeah.
It's one of the two, and there is, and I
until we have that knowledge, it's a nebulous thing.
And honestly, I cannot imagine it being 3 attacks. 3 attacks is devastating for this thing to do.
Yeah, unless this is meant to be a boss. And even so, like if you think about it, right? You've got the first attack. If we think just it does claws and then soul tear on one thing, it does. 16, so it does 32 damage plus another 20 on top as averages if it hits with all 3. Yeah.
That's 52 damage
in one turn.
To a level 4 party.
Yeah. And then it still has the option to do Circle of Hell.
I think Circle of Hell is
action.
Yeah, Circle of Hell is just an action. It's not.
No. I know. I'm just saying that it can do multi-attack, and do all that shit to the melee engager, and then do Circle of Hell to everything around it and torch everything.
Right, the next time. Yeah, it's just. Yeah. I highly, highly doubt. Even 2 is a lot in my mind. 2 attacks for this thing.
Like, so now let me.
Unless
let me
you
ask you this,
bump the damages down, I think it would. Yeah, I don't know.
So then it's not our monster. If you were to use this and you weren't going to change anything about it, what challenge rating would you make it?
Ooh, okay. So potential...
This as is?
Yes.
5.
I was going to say 6. Yeah, I was going to say 6.
You think 6?
Yeah, definitely 6.
I was thinking either 6 or 7, yeah.
Yeah. It feels like it's...
You hear it, boys. 6, 6, 6.
Winner.
Oh man.
No, but legitimately, it seems like it can, like, the potential of it hitting with all 3 attacks, considering it gets +4 to each attack, so it hits on a average of probably 10 on most things, and then 12 on others to 14. It's very easy to get that, I would say. Well, it's not that easy, but still, it's still a lot of damage over.
Yeah,
such
it's
a
a lot
short
of
time.
damage potential for a level 4.
Yeah, I honestly think 6 at least.
Yeah. Well, honestly, this is I know we're not done yet, but I was just thinking that this was super fun just talking about the monster itself.
Yeah.
I had a lot more fun talking about the monster than like some of the other like homebrew stuff in general.
Oh, sure.
Just because it's cool to see what other people have made and kind of review it.
Yeah,
because that's kind of what we do normally.
Yeah, exactly. That's
so it's a little weird to review our own shit.
Yeah, it feels a little strange. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like that's what I was saying about, because we did the combat wheelchair last time. So like it's the same exact thing. I feel the same way. It's fucking cool.
And on the off chance that the people that made this, Monkey DM, if they are a single person or a group of people, this monster is fucking awesome.
Oh yeah,
it looks absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, the Oleg.
I 100% intend on using it in my campaign.
It is a fucking work of art. However, it's just a tad bit too strong for the challenge. That's honestly, really our only issue with it.
It may be something that like worked for your party. However, like a challenge rating of a flat 4 bears certain, I guess, expectations.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And this is a bit over tweaked for that. Cool as fuck.
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
Fucking awesome.
Super cool.
I absolutely can see that in as a Dark Souls 3 monster in the big chapel you go to where you fight the Deacons of the Deep.
Excuse me. Yeah.
And actually, Aiden, before I forget, when we finish up, don't leave, because I have a book that has a monster that you could use for your campaign as well.
Okay.
What I will say is, in defense of this being a challenge rating 4, werewolves are challenge rating 3.
It's true, but they don't have the ability to do 5d6 in a 40-foot radius and
you're right.
And 50 damage in one turn.
Yeah, they get multi-attacks.
But it's like 2 claws.
Yeah, it's claws or the bite or the spear and
or something like that.
You know, and the averages are 6, 7, and 6 and 5.
Yeah.
Like,
so
yeah.
Because the thing is, if the werewolf had the multi-attack and those damage numbers alongside some sort of element damage, then it would be on the same level as this.
Yeah,
but since it's just the straight damage, it's nothing compared to this.
I'm thinking as well, because it's 1d8 plus 2 for the bite, and then you've got over here 2d6 plus 2 for your regular attack, plus another 2d6.
Necrotic.
Yeah, that's a lot. It's still like, yeah, okay. Yeah, I still stand by it then. Tried to, man. Tried to.
Yeah, no, that's fine. it's fair.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So that's definititely, I mean, I'm gonna
That is the Umbral Skullbearer.
I'm gonna go and leave a nice little upvote and a nice little
a little cheeky comment.
Save. Oh, I'll leave a cheeky comment as well. Yeah, later. I'll even go, hey, we did a thing with this. If you want to check it out, because this was only posted 14 hours ago, actually.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah. So
cool.
Yeah, it's actually pretty new. I didn't even know. But yeah. So that's that. Good thing. How we feeling, boys? How we feeling?
I feel good about what happened here.
Well, I was more just seeing if you were tired or anything.
I don't know. It is coming up on our time limit.
Time limit. That's why I was just like, do we want to get into something else, or are we good?
I would like to do another monster, but I feel like that would take another full hour.
Right. Yeah, that's
the only thing.
We have future homebrew things that we can do, and we can always add stuff to like a docket and then periodically clear it out.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
Get on that channel.
Yeah, it's true.
that channel of the Discord.
Yeah, that is true.
We'll just post a link for homebrew shit.
Yeah. So, with that being said, then, what's your thoughts then, boys? What's your final thoughts?
Umbral Skullbearer's got great head game.
He does.
So there you go.
I'm gonna take a little off the top though. Horrible barber.
Yeah. It's got that weird fucking like fungus shit on his face.
Nah, dude, that's I think little holes. That's like trypophobia-esque. Like,
oh yeah, totally.
My sister would fucking hate this thing. She would.
I imagine it as the opposite of how some frogs like carry their young.
Oh yeah. I know exactly what you mean.
Dude, I would love to see this thing like fire off nerfed demi-liches like a little rocket launcher.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Maybe that's what it looks like. Honestly, the souls come out, and that's.
And now that reminds me of the blazing soul casket from fucking Warhammer 2 that the Tomb Kings get.
Oh yeah.
It's that mortar thing that shoots out screaming skulls.
Awesome. Great. Hell yeah. Yeah, I mean, cool stuff overall, really. So yeah, I mean, I hope you guys enjoyed our little homebrew thing. We'll definitely do more at a later date.
And next time on Table Talk Discussion and Discourse, you know what we're going to be talking about?
What are we going to be talking about?
We're going to be talking about 4th edition.
No, that's not true.
Ooh, no, we're not. No,
that's
we're
not
actually objectively not.
No, I don't ever want to talk about something that doesn't exist.
Is it? No, I'm pretty sure it's not.
I know. No. How sad that it wasn't.
So yeah, thank you all for listening and watching and everything. Links will be in the description as always, and you can listen to us or watch us on YouTube first on Fridays at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now that I'm back and I can post things again. And again, on Mondays at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on your podcasting site of choice or service. You can also listen to us and watch us play Devils and Dice, our D&D campaign, on Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or Eastern Daily Time, whatever it is, EDT, EST, fucking whatever.
Yeah.
And you can visit our website, tabletalkd&d.us, to find a lot of things and information and playlists and all of that as well. There is, of course, on our Twitter and Instagram, at TableTalkD&D is the username for both, so you can follow us there. See little polls on the Twitter. I'll try to get more stuff going with the Instagram. Honestly, I'll probably post a little snippet of the thing that we covered, the Umbral Skullbearer. I'll just do a little screen cap and go like, hey, no, that's probably not a good idea, actually. Now that I think about it, it might be a bad, I don't know. Anyway, I'll figure out more things to post there. And we have a Discord server that you can join. Link is in the description. Please do. It's fun. We, as I said before, we got the results of the poll from our people on there, as well as the people on Twitter that voted and said that they wanted to see us cover homebrew stuff, and so we did. Hey, we listened.
Yeah, I was the guy who voted yes, just yes.
You were one of the 5 or 4 technically. Yeah. There are a lot of people who did that. It's fine. I figured I'd put a whatever option, basically. And we also have our Patreon, which is TableTalk DND, where you can go and do that. And honestly, I think I'm going to upload audio versions of the Devils and Dice campaign, because they're actually kind of small in comparison to everything, and I can actually get those up there. So you can have some exclusive shit, maybe, if you want it.
Our Patreon is just as alive as the Umbral Skullbearer.
Yep. And let's see. Other than that, you can email us at tabletalkd@gmail.com to send us a lovely email, or a horrible one. Honestly, it's your pick. And if you've made it to this point, if you're listening, first off, thank you again. And secondly, leave us a review on I think it's iTunes or Apple Podcasts, one of the two, because that is like the majority of where people find podcasts. It's like the biggest thing, apparently, even though we don't get our numbers mostly from there, but it does help with discoverability. So if you could do that for us, to leave us that nice little bump into our SEO, basically, to let us get to more people, because it's been really cool to see the fact that we've actually gotten to as many countries as we have.
How many countries are we in?
Oh, it's like it was like 12, I think, or something. I don't know.
Damn.
It was quite a few, actually. Yeah, I was surprised that we had been listened to at least once in each of them.
Yeah, right. But does it say how long we were listened to?
Oh, nah. Listen. Anyway, it's mostly US. It's mostly US and UK, honestly. So, but
I'm set. Wait, is Canada's on the list, right?
Yeah, Canada is also on the list, but I think it's smaller. I think. Anyway, yeah. So
gonna have to talk to Jean Paul and tell him why aren't you listening?
Yeah, it's true. But yes, thank you again, and if you could do that for us, that'd be great to help us get to more people.
They're busy up there being degens. Sorry.
Hey, man. Quebec is fine. Right? In fucking Ottawa.
So yeah, and also if you have made it to this point on the video version, if you could also subscribe, like it, comment on it, do all the things that you're supposed to do, whatever, ring that bell or whatever, I don't know. Do all those things and share us with people so that we get to more people, more to their ears, more to their eyes, more to their souls, make us something that they'll never forget. It's vaguely threatening, but you'll do it. I know you will.
Yes. Do it. Do it.
Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Yeah, that's it. Thanks. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Goodbye.
Yep.
Bye now.